stuff here. I don't have enough water for coffee. I think I got enough for a cup. I got enough for a cup. That'll work. Good morning, Jason. Good morning, nice guy. Jeff. Uh, uh, Thank you very much, Tony. Appreciate the help. Not a bad spot, right? Not a bad spot at all. Some coffee, then hit the store, get some breakfast. It's like a quarter mile up, and do some hitchhiking. Try to get out of here again today. We hitchhiked yesterday for about 3 hours. No luck, unfortunately. But today's a new day, folks. Let's try it again. See an elk. This is an elk prominent area. They don't like me, bastards. I'm on the I-90. I-90 is actually just above me in this bridge here, just above me. Eh, This thing's getting old. I got this used from Elkhart Rosie art when I was stove for a long time. She's like, "Dude, I got an extra one right here. It's dated." Yeah, I started off up north, right, Lincoln County, Flathead County, around Flathead Lake, hit the I-90, and then went down from there. So hit the I-90, came down the I-90. I'm going to keep going east from there. So that's the plan. Until I get distracted, end up going somewhere random. What a veteran. Hope the chickens are well and yourself. This cup has also seen better days. Oh, that shit's getting old and rogy. Man, I try to pinch it tight. See how strong I am today. Take it out, tighten it up a little. There we go. Now we have a semi-working handle. What up, Aislinn? Squirrel. To the One of the worst motels I ever stayed at was in Kansas City. It's on the outskirts of Kansas City, Kansas. It was like the walls were sweaty. You know, like the humidity in the room itself was so bad. The walls would actually sweat. It was crazy. No shower either until right before I left. The shower kicked on. Making coffee, making coffee. Trying not to burn down the state of Montana with my coffee. Just tip over. There's a big yard sale out here this morning. I got all my shit up. Good morning. And Dave, what's up, homie? Hitch, good morning, good morning. Come back to Colorado. Man, I love me some Colorado. Colorado's beautiful. I gotta check out Colorado in the summer, fall, or in the summer. Summer, spring, or fall. That's what I was trying to say. Every time I go, it seems to be winter time. You know. But both last winter and the winter before, I found myself in Colorado. It is breathtaking out there. I love it. I think I can say that about any state, though. So, yeah, coffee. I remember when I was there. Oh yeah, it's fucking beautiful. Estes Park. Yeah, I was there last year. That's what set me in position to freeze my ass off for the next like month and a half after that. But it was worth it. Yeah, it was worth it. Everyone wants to talk about the Stanley Motel. But it's like there's so much more to see in Estes Park. Just the scenery alone, the lake, all the wildlife and whatever. I think the Stanley Motel is one of the least interesting things up there. To be honest with you. Uh, yeah, well, I went to Estes Park, so I was going down the interstate towards Denver, hit like Loveland, Fort Collins, went up to Estes Park, came back down the valley, went down to Pueblo, Colorado Springs, Pueblo, Colorado City. Then I ended up in Sucker Raton for a while. But yeah, Estes Park doesn't have any elk. Don't believe the lies. They got elk burger. I know that much. I know that much. Ah. Yeah, I skipped Denver this time around. I went to like the suburbs around Denver, Loveland, Fort Collins, and Castle Park, whatever it's called, Castle something, just south of Denver. But I don't want to go to the major city at that point. I was like, oh yeah, major cities make everything harder to do what I do, and I've already done Denver. Let me just skip through it. And then when I ended up going to California, I was in major cities the entire time, like all the way up. So I hit like Dunsmuir. It was all very settled, which is nice. Change my content for a bit. Learn different skill sets from photography and video. Oh, damn, I'm missing the Tatas. Man, it's the Castle Rock. Thank you, B. Tatas with coffee. Because high beams on today. Hell yeah. What's up, Katie? Sorry I missed you. Just the morning Tatas. It's coffee over here, my camp stove. It's a little chilly today. Fair enough. I always like if I'm inside and it's warm or if it's super hot out and I take my shirt off, I'm like, just looks all right. But if I'm cold and everything's all like, you know what I mean? Like vascularly constricted, I'm like, damn, it looking good. I might do the spicy stuff. Make sure you turn the AC on. You got 5 leaks in the van. Damn. Next time, B for sure. Next time, you would follow me along that time. Um, Jen, what's up, homie? I've got to be quicker. I don't know. Ben's the fastest gun in the south, man. Uh, um, Good morning, Jen. Good morning. Cash Lord. That's not a scammer's name or anything. What's up, Rand? Good morning. Uh, uh, uh. Just gonna get rid. I don't want anyone with the name Cash Lord in my life. It's begging for people to get scammed. Talk sausage, big size nips. Look, man, call them beanie weenies. Good morning, Jen. Cash Lord, help me. I got up this morning and I checked all my financials. I was like, oh, well, oof. And I was like, but shit, I get paid for TikTok on Monday now. I'm still getting used to getting paid on Monday. They switched it from Wednesday to Monday. I thought they were gonna hold a week back. I'm like, that's gonna suck, dude. Like, I can't budget like that. I'm not good at that. But they didn't. They just moved it 2 days ahead. So we get paid Monday now. So tomorrow I'll get paid from all the gifts from today all the way from last Monday, the Monday to Sunday pay cycle. So I was like, oh damn, man, we're looking. Oh fuck yeah. I haven't been going live that much. Just having the one phone, and it's been a bad week, mental health wise, right? So you gotta have some time for yourself. But I'm going live a lot less compared to normal. It used to be daily, man. Oh, it was so nice, dude. Those were the days. Like I'd be broke as shit. I'd go live. make like 20 bucks, 25 bucks over like 5 hours, luckily, hopefully, and then get off alive and be able to pull the money right out. Those were the days, dude. You know, I guess it's good. Like that's how I'm able to get more motels than I used to get too. When I get more people watching, more viewers and shit. But oh, coffee's done. But I would nickel and dime myself all week. You know what I mean? So I barely got motels, and it wasn't. I made a lot less back then in general. Like I said, also I would, just fucking spend whatever I made for the day that day usually. All right, get the coffee in there. I'm gonna put a little extra in there. Motivation. Gonna find ambition at the bottom of this cup. Doing cowboy coffee for those that don't know. Usually I got coffee tea bags and Folgers I use. I kept forgetting to get them, so I was at a campground. I wanted coffee. I got a big thing of coffee. Let's put the coffee grounds in there. Let it cool off a bit. So it's just the coffee grounds in the cup. I'll give it a stir here in a second again. Once it kind of settles a bit, I'll stir it again. Once it cools off, the coffee grounds will start floating to the bottom, and then I'll put a little bit more water on the top, cold water. As cold sinks, heat rises, so it pulls all the coffee grounds to the bottom. And really, like it, unless I fuck it up, you don't get any of the coffee grounds in your mouth at all, unless I forget I'm doing cowboy coffee. Once you get to the very bottom, you just dump it. It's like this much left in the bottom is all coffee grounds and water. You just dump it out. My dumb ass, I'll forget. I'll take a big old sip of the coffee grounds. So if you don't have ADHD, it's a fantastic way to make coffee. I just left Oregon, man. You missed it. Eugene, Portland, went down to Columbia Gorge, Columbia River, Columbia Gorge for a while to Washington from there. I had a good time. I think I've eaten so many fucking blackberries in my life. Excuse me, what? That's good to know, Ben. But quick question, Ben. Why do you know that? Just out of curiosity. Fun size. You were born in Missoula, born and raised here. It's fucking beautiful here. Clearly see. Fucking breathtaking. See why you lived here for so long. Not a very diverse place, Montana. Or Washington. Oregon, not really. It's not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's on purpose. There's not a lot of diversity. Even Portland is not a diverse place. It's not as diverse as one would think, you know? But Montana, yeah, even more so. What's up, Rita? Oh, not too many people. Yeah, that's one thing. Like, I don't think I've met anyone from Montana besides Whitefish. I met up with some locals there from Whitefish, like that area, generational like ranchers or some shit. But besides those, like three people, everyone I've met has moved here. Some have lived here for 20 years. Some have lived here for 10, 15 years, But it's on purpose. I don't think so, but how do I know? I'm just a guy. I feel like yesterday you were showing trees about there's some trees about to get boring. Don't worry, I'll be in the Midwest soon. Rita with the galaxy. Thank you very much, homie. Be in the Midwest soon. You can see all the farms, flat farmland, as far as the eye can see, Jen. All the way from Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. I'm gonna try to grab a cough pot. I forget it by Cleveland, though. Tell you what now. It's Pikes Peak back there. You guys see Pikes Peak? All right, a little bit of cold water on the coffee. The grounds are already sinking. Just gonna help them down a little bit. Should be the last stir with the grounds. Is it grinds? Whatever. Let the fucking coffee bits go to the bottom of the cup. I can have some sips. Good morning, Anita. Hope you're doing well, man. Oh, I want to treat you to hot pot, Jen. That's the idea. I'm not saying I'll be able to, but I'd like to. We'll see where my wallet's at when I show up. But that's all you fucking do around here. I should take you up for once, you know. So you guys always taking care of my sorry ass. Again, it's a big if. See what happens when I get there. How close we are to payday. Anita with the Buckley's Beer Fund. I'll get the bill later. I'm gonna win that one, just so you know. I've worked in restaurants for years. My favorite state, whatever one you live in. And the loser of the fight pays for a hot pot. I like that. I like that. Yeah, cue the Rocky trading montage. Oregon, no, I'm in Montana. Petty Jordan with the Harvey, thank you. Oh yeah, we almost got coffee time here. Nice little spot. I got rain yesterday. Oh, Montana's beautiful, dude. Yeah, I highly recommend coming through at least once in your life if you can't get the opportunity. Yeah, I had rain like a motherfucker yesterday. Thunderstorms and all this shit. So I hunkered down on this business. It was closed. Sell safes or make safes or something. I don't fucking know. But they were closed because unfortunately they had a death in the family. So I fucking just hung out right by their office. They had an awning. So I got to dodge a lot of the rain there. And then I came over under this bridge later in the day. And it didn't flood out or anything. So that's awesome. But I chilled day yesterday. Hitchhiked for what, just about 3 hours. No luck in a ride. Did some hiking and got no further down the road. So let's try it today. Ramps right over here. It ain't far. You can do it, Rock. What up, biker guy? Cat Lady Janie and Deborah K with the Harvey. Thank you. Yeah, that's true, Hitch. I'm gonna go for sympathy. That's how I'm gonna win this one. You know, like let Jen hit me once and then start crying and hope she feels so bad she lets me win. Let's try it out. You know, I think I stand a good chance. I guess I'll start trading tomorrow. Do 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 do. The final countdown. It's Jen doing push-ups. I'm just drinking beer in my montage. Oh yeah, not the face. No, I'm fucking trying to make my money. Only in the face. I'm fucked up. You're down, homie. Sympathy works. Hell yeah. You too, Anita. Have a great day, homie. Have a great day. Hope you all have a very productive or a very relaxing day. Either one is fine with me. Old battery. You're welcome. Chad jogging up and down the stairs. Straight up Rocky montage. Hell yeah. A good morning, Barbie. I'll be doing well. Cool off the top so the browns go down. Still too hot to drink anyway. Oh, oh yeah, I'm on TikTok. After I get beat up by Jen, I can play the victim card on TikTok. That's I could make at least tens of dollars, tens and tens of dollars on that alone. Go sit in the fucking shade. I'm gonna be in the sun later. Fucking hitchhiking. I don't need to be in the sun right now. I got the option for shade. I might as well take it. Just gonna dip over there. Yeah, let's go do that. Excuse to put my boots on anyway. And tanning quick. I sit in the sun every day. It ain't that quick. You know? Sit in the sun, walk in the sun, hitchhike in the sun. Uh, all right, Barbie, not bad out here. Everywhere you look's a fucking mountain. I'm in a valley now. It's beautiful, breathtakingly beautiful. Tens of dollars better than ones of dollars, right? These boots are nice, man. I never used the brand Redhead before. Bass Pro Shop, Kalispell in Montana. Some new booties. I never heard of it ever, so I took a pretty big risk using them. Turned out, it's just fun. Amazing boots. Uh, we got a decent amount of power bank left. Looks like a flea market out here. Come back for the coffee in the bucket, I think. Oh, we'll take the, come back for the coffee. Sit in some shade here. China rock, where it goes right in my butt. Get the coffee. Don't forget the coffee. Most important part of what I'm carrying. Ugh. You ever slept under a bridge? No, I don't think I have. Bridge? No. Make this coffee. Good morning, Linda. I'm good. How are you, homie? I can't complain. Got my morning, some cowboy coffee. My night was good. I got good sleep. I was out by like 11, woke up at like 7:30. Went and snapped some photos real quick of my flip flops in the mountains and shit. Howdy. Yee howdy. Teresa, thank you. Good morning, half baked. Good to see you as always. Good morning, Brooke. Ricky VB with the Hartley, thank you. A little light on me there. Oh, it's so creepy and dark. Yeah, we'll try to hitchhike again today. Hopefully, I can get a ride out. We'll see. My phone charger's not too hot yet. We're getting like hitchhike well into the 90s charge. It stays where it's at. Maybe I'll get a percentage or two over half an hour. If I'm live streaming, no. If I'm live streaming, I try to charge it. I lose. They lose power. So I'm trying to work with power management. Just trying to make it work. Basically, just ignore my phone. When I get out the live, my phone will go in my bucket charging, and I won't even look at it until I'm going to the on ramp, and then fire it up. Probably go live about 3 hours before I run out of my phone runs out of juice, no matter what. In the sun, hitchhiking, and fucking China will go live. So making it work. What else can I do? Well, I'm very excited to get some of these phones fixed here. Ah, yes, fresh coffee in the morning, nothing like it. What's up, Roxanne? When I plan in Mississippi, no plans in Mississippi. I'll be there probably over the winter. That's I got no plans as of yet, so far away. But when I leave Boston, it'll probably be around October. I'll get down the East Coast, hit Florida, and then I'll start going across the Gulf. You know, Alabama, Mississippi, and whatever. So, what up, Chevy? What up, Laura? Welcome in. Teresa with the hand hearts. Thank you very much. You guys are being too nice. I'm gonna start expecting this behavior. I might end up in Houston. So I'm coming out of Louisiana. I'd like to check out Austin. I've never been to Austin before. But we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? I don't know. Oh, is it looping? Really? That's a shame. Oh, shit service here. I gotta back up. The bridge is fucking up the service. Damn it. Can't catch a break this morning. Uh, between the copper mines and the bridges, the copper mine and the bridge, service gets spotty real quick. I realized that last night. That's why I slept so close to the edge. I slept so close to the edge of the bridge. Cell service. I forgot. Right back to the dead spot. Because the machine. What up, Lupo? That should be more better. Oh yeah, Houston. I've been to Houston twice. Love Houston. Houston's one of those weird places though, like the really impoverished, the poor part of town's like huge, sprawling. Fucking Lupo hit me up the other day. He's like, "Dude, you free?" I was like, "Yeah, man, but I'm lit." I think I said I was stoner at AF. Sideways. Hell yeah, Randy. See me up. You see me up that way. You let me know, man. I'll forget obviously when I get up that way, but you remind me to see me out that way. I don't think I've ever done northern Louisiana besides Shreveport, like Greenwood, Shreveport, and surrounding area. I'm always New Orleans or Shreveport. Oh, got a restriction. Go figure. Blue oranges. What's up, homie? Thank you, Lupo. We are crushing it. Sure will. Hell yeah, dude. I was trying to meet up as many people as possible as I'm doing this. That was a big thing a year and a half ago. There was a creator on here that went sour on me. And they're like, he told me he hates doing meetups. I do. I'll tell you right now, I fucking hate doing meetups. I hate them. I don't hate meeting people. I don't hate meeting y'all or talking to y'all at all. The act of going to meet up with somebody. I have a social anxiety disorder. You know what I mean? Like it's a nerve every single time. It's a nerve wracking thing. You know, it has nothing to do with like the people I'm meeting up with or at all. It's just my social anxiety tells me to run and not do it. Left to my own devices, I'd be a hermit. If I let my brain just take over, I'd be a straight up hermit. So It's the act itself, you know. And no matter what, starting things always sucks, you know. Starting things is the worst. I love hiking. I hate starting to go hike. You know, I love working out. I hate starting to work out. You know, like doing stuff is fine. Starting stuff is the fucking hard part, right? No, you've been here a long time, man. I appreciate you. Houdini with the Harvey, thank you. But yeah, the idea of the meetups is like if I was on the other side, like if I was watching someone like me and they're coming through my town, I'd love to be able to say hi real quick. You know what I mean? Say what up. Especially people that have been here a long ass time and watching the live for a long ass time. Of course, I'm trying to meet up with you. You know, I enjoy them, but like the idea of meeting a person is horrifying to me. Uh, I want to go. I just want to get dressed to go. Show up in the PJs. You know, all my stuff sitting there, looking like a goddamn flea market right now. Here, my shit's all disorganized, but it's all right. It'll take me a minute and a half to pack it all up if I do it quick. What's up, big game over? And for if there's any younger travelers in here, that's called a trash bag. Just put my trash in the bag and I take it with me and throw it away. You guys should try it out. Yeah, anxiety sucks. I still let it win. No big deal. Yeah, I camped under an overpass last night. Yeah, I stole that line from Lupo Flea Market. I think you said. I was like, I love that. I told you that I'm stealing that. I like that. But yeah, I camped out on a bridge last night, like a good little troll. I had fucking crazy thunderstorms all throughout the evening and night last night, up until like midnight. It finally stopped. So I just camped out under here. I was fine. I stayed in the business for a while I was in town. There was a business that was usually open, but it was closed. They had a death in the family, big old sign in the front. So I hung out under their awning for a while, just fucking doing some editing, trying to charge my stuff up. My phones are all jacked up, so charging is getting harder and harder by the day. Then grab my supplies for the night. Fix my boot here before the bootlace fucking tripped me. But I came here, camped for the night. I was in bed by like 11. The rain was already letting up. You know, life's a lot tougher in the winter. No, it's just different, dude. You know what I mean? Like extreme heat or extreme cold sucks no matter what. You know what I mean? I'm out here and I'm in it. I'm in the finite thick of things. For fuck's sake, you know. So either way, like extreme any weather direction sucks. Summer things are a lot more alive and beautiful, and they get a little more, you know, a little more day light. But winter times, I don't have to worry about bugs at all. You know, a lot easier to do the sneakier parts of what I do because there's so much, nighttime. When it gets dark, go to 4:35 p.m. I'm already trying to find camp and shit. Where now it's like I can find camp at fucking 8:30. So pros and cons to both for sure. Weather gets a lot more intimidating in the cold in the winter because like if I get wet, I'm probably not going to be alive anymore. you know. Dory Lynn, what's up, homie? Thank you for the heart in the hand. I told you I'm all out of hobo scholarships, man. Wish you all the best. You too, Levi. You too. Hello. Waiting on a train. No, there are train tracks right there, but no, I'm just waking up, getting my coffee. I'm in a hitchhike. The on ramp is right there by that tree. So I got to walk into town real quick quarter-mile walk, quarter-mile back. So, yeah, mile. Get some protein shake and a banana or something for breakfast. Come home back, let my shit charge up nice and good because I can't really charge in the sun. My shit will just run out of juice slower. I put the charger on and be like, sunlight, it's so hot. Trying to make it work before I get these fucking phones fixed up. Both my phones don't have the charging port's broke on both my phones now. The last time I got wet last week, that was it for that last phone. The charging port was already on its way out. When it got wet, that was the end of it. So trying to juggle two phones. with a lot less power banks. Two of my power banks won't charge my phones now because they don't have a Type C connection for the wireless charger. So I'm just trying to make it work until I get the other one fixed. And I'm due for an upgrade for this one through T-Mobile, so just gotta fucking next month. Fucking just upgrade my phone. What's up, Matthew? It's been good, man. You know me, just travel, styling, profiling, being the Ric Flair of fucking travel. Woo! Yeah, we saw a lot of wildlife here in Montana: rabbits, deer. What I thought was a stray dog at my camp, but I know it was just someone that was just running their dogs off leash. And a whitefish. All that happy horse shit. And, no bears, which is fine with me. No elk, which is not fine with me. I don't know why elk always hide from me, but they do. I was told to hit a junkyard if I want to see a grizzly bear. Well, let's hit a city dump. You'll see a grizzly bear there. If I got the opportunity, you know? Yeah, I'm still headed back to Boston. I got jammed up here in Montana um, right before I got here. Then while I was here too, just a bunch of personal stuff, bunch of mental health stuff, jammed me the fuck up. And then the wildfires put me in a weird state of mind too. I don't know what that was. That's like what it was. Like, shit got weird for me when I was in Washington, personal life wise, and then my mom got fucking put in the hospital. We weren't sure if she was gonna make it or not. And then right after that, I'm in Montana, and then you got the wildfires in Washington, in Canada, and then in Montana, and then in Idaho. I was just surrounded by wildfires. It was so fucking thick you couldn't even see the sun. Like the sun would just be like this red circle in the sky, and it wouldn't cast any daylight on the ground. Wouldn't be any sunlight. Even though it was not a cloud in the sky. That's how thick the wildfire smoke was where I was at. It was fun for like the challenge, you know what I mean, in that regard. Like, okay, how do I photograph a dreary gray sky, and then everything that's more than 20 feet away is hazy, you know? And so that regard was fun. But I think it put me in like a fight or flight kind of response. And then when I got to Flathead County, I started like spinning my wheels, and then we got terrible news. It was a fucking community, right? So I think everything was just fucking with my head for a while. Uh, I might do like a coffee table book at some point for the photos. Um, right now, all we do with the photos is I use them in videos on here. I use them. I archive them on Patreon. That's all for free. You can go look at them. But I do a calendar. I did one last year. I'll do one again this year. I do a calendar with all my favorite photos with my merch supplier. They're pretty cheap. I think they went for like $15 or $18 or something. Keep all the price points to a minimum. The way I look at it, one, I don't have a pursuit of fame or wealth. You know what I mean? I have no pursuit of fame or no pursuit of wealth. So I don't want to charge for a lot. I don't want to charge a lot for stuff anyway. But on top of that, if I have donation links in the bio and gifts open down here, how can I like profit more off you guys? You know what I mean? It doesn't seem right to make $8 profit per T-shirt or something like that. So I keep everything as super low price point as I can. I make $1 to $3 per item profit. Everything else goes to the supplier, and then everything that goes into it. But yeah, I did a calendar last year with my favorite photos from the year. I took them the year before, and a bunch of quotes by my favorite philosophers, and a bunch just really set it up and then send it over to supplier. We'll probably have that up and running by like October, the 2027 calendar. Yeah, but I'm doing just fine, Teresa. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing all right. I'm not buying a Rolls Royce next week. And sometimes I'm broke, but there's always like a day or two later, I'm getting paid from TikTok, or getting paid monthly, or getting paid from the Red Play Button app, or whatever, or I don't have too many bad weeks when it's like, all right, like what am I gonna do? I feel like if I had with everything the way that it's set up and everything that I make already, I feel like anything that's a high profit point is just milking the community for everything you're worth. You know what I mean? Like I've seen creators do that, the battlers or the scam artists on here or the digital panhandlers. Like they're here just to take as much money from the community as humanly possible. And it is hard in some days in some regards because like this app is constantly pressuring me to pressure you guys, for money for the app. I avoid that for the most part. Every once in a while, I'll be like, let me play ball, and I'll do like videos that ain't me, you know, or, like is more palatable or whatever. Man, it just sucks. So I'll fall for that trap. Uh, I will forever be curious, like how much I could have grown this whole thing if I did play ball. You know what I mean? If I did like the shitty car salesman shit, you see a lot of creators do use car salesman type shit. I do wonder how much this would have grown, but I'm much more content knowing that, if I stopped doing social media right now, I did it in the most ethical way I could possibly think of. I'm very, very okay with that. Welcome. What's up, Brandon? How you living? Welcome, man. Welcome in. It's a shitty view today. This is garbage view. Look. Would have cost you a little long run, I'm sure. What up, Token? Yeah, I mean, for 5 years, Hitch, 5 years on here. I'm never really selling out, selling my soul and shit. I'm cool with that, no matter how it ends. So I still can sleep just fine at night. Ah, Is a gem. Follow, thank you. I'm gonna drink my coffee here. Go live for a bit, talk to you fine folks, and then I got to get into town, get some breakfast, protein shake, banana or apple or something, some kind of fruit, and snack for later. I'll grab more tobacco, I'm sure. Go ahead, the on ramp. Yeah, I mean, it's been a while. I've been at this for on TikTok. I've been at it for just under 5 years, just under 5 years. But yeah, you've been following me for 1.7 thousand fucking days, man. Override, guys. No, the fires have chilled out for the most part. I still see some haze in the distance some days. Um, it wasn't like it was a month ago, that's for sure. 3 weeks ago, whatever it was when I got here. Um, this season, the fire season's almost over, and they've been all put out and shit for the most part. So finally, you can see the sky. See what the sky looks like. Look at that. You know, call Montana the big sky country, and I couldn't even see it for weeks. What up, fur baby mama? Welcome in. Welcome in. Yo, mama, what's up, homie? Ready for that chainsaw yet? On the way, man. On the way. I'll be right. I'll be right there. Just hold your breath. That being said, when I'm out your way, I'll be in Illinois. I don't know what part, but I'll be in Illinois somewhere. But if you need a hand with anything while I'm there, man, I fucking got you. No problem. When the snow comes. But what I hear, the weather up here is very similar to Boston, where I'm from. It's like sometimes you'll have 3 feet of snow sitting around, but most of the time it's not like a crazy amount of snow, which is insane to me. Because I always figured Boston was like that because it's next to the coast. You get less cold and less snow. But all the locals I talked to, they said the last several winters haven't been that bad. Only on occasion will they get like a bad month of snow or something like that. kind of hem everything up. Damn, yo, mom, that's an old ass tree. Today's the day. Hopefully, big talk. Hopefully, I'm from the North Shore. I was born South Shore, grew up in the North Shore, East Boston, Revere, mainly Revere. But I hitchhiked about 3 hours yesterday, probably three and a half by the time I got off the off ramp. No luck. I had to switch off ramps, if I don't get anything today. Teresa with the "You're amazing, thank you." I gotta check the hotel prices too. Maybe they went down finally. The Motel 6 here was 150. I'm like, yeah, I'm not paying that for a baby mama with the galaxies. Mountain lions are interesting. I jumped off my train in Lincoln County in Libby and on live for a baby mama. Thank you. The galaxy's bestest and the djembe master. Grew up in Somerville, like Somerville. But I jump off my fucking train and I hear I'm sitting there, I'm talking, I'm being loud, talking doing a live stream for fuck's sake, right? And I see these two baby bobcats, maybe like adolescent, maybe like halfway up my leg. Yeah, Teresa. What is that one? Pearl Chime, thank you in the rose. Fur baby mama with the corgi butt. Thank you guys. That's too much. Fur baby mama, you've been hooking it up this week for no reason. Thank you. But it's two fucking baby bobcats sitting there, Well, first it was one. And I start yelling immediately, "Get out of here," or just scare them off. You know what I mean? And then I'm on live, right? Teresa with the good morning, Willis with the popular and the Buckley's beer fun. Thank you. So I start walking off, and then I'm sitting there for fucking ever. I'm sitting there for like 20 minutes, right? And then I walk off. What I'm assuming is they went around me and we met back up. Now there's two of them. Howdy. For baby mama, thank you. Now there's two of them fuckers, right? And they got these big old fucking heads, so I know they're not full grown. They ain't growing their heads yet. Right, but I'm looking at them. I'm like, doesn't look like any bobcat that I've ever fucking seen before, right? I've never seen a bobcat that looks like that. I mean, maybe they look different up here. Maybe it's like a northern bobcat or something. I don't fucking know. Right? Howdy. Thank you for baby mama. How do you get? Save a horse, ride a cow, Troy. How do you get? I don't want to be a cow, Troy, anymore. Thank you for baby mama. Hitting that live goal. Appreciate you. But the live stream starts blowing up in the chat. People that are from the area or familiar with Montana, like, there's no bobcats here. I'm like, what? Yeah, there's no bobcats where you're at, Troy. Oh, all right. So those were mountain lions. So they were all kind of beige looking, a little black in the face, beige looking in the body, and then the tail had a little bit of black at the end. And again, they're only adolescent at most. They didn't even grow into their head yet. Probably about halfway up my leg, so a foot and a half tall. For a baby mama with the level up, what is that one? Spotlight, level up spotlight. Thank you. Yeah, two baby mountain lions in the middle of nowhere, Libby, Montana. Off the fucking mountain when I jumped off my train, which means the mama was around. I'm surprised it didn't come out to fucking shoo me away or scare me off. You know, um, I'm kind of glad I didn't know in the moment. It's probably again, it's like fucking midnight in the middle of nowhere. Everything's closed. I had to go steal water from the fucking Family Dollar nearby and shit like that. I say steal water, but it's that's just because that's what it is. I'm stealing water, but it sounds a lot worse than it is because I'm stealing water. I carry what's called a Silcock key. Every business that's open is going to have a water spout on the side that's for the fire department to check them and see if they have water. So they just go in and check. They're not going to go in and bother the business. Saves time for the fire department and you know saves time for the business. Check. So I use those for water. If like I had my water jug broke, so I was up Shit's Creek. So I used my Silcock key, stole some water from the Family Dollar, and then went and camped out right by the tracks, right where I saw the fucking mountain lions. Where else was I going to camp? I did. I was very. It is what it is. I've studied enough stoicism, and I've been out here long enough to be like, hey, whatever happens, happens. I'm gonna do everything I can to prevent something bad from happening. But hey, if today's my day, today's my day. The risk involved in doing this before I started doing it, even more so since I've been doing it. But you bet your ass I slept with my fucking hoodie around my neck. My hoodie all bunched up around, because that's what they're gonna go for. And sleeping on the ground and just looking like, a lot smaller than you are, you might jump onto something's menu real quick if they're opportunistic hunter. I don't know the hunting habits of a mountain lion at all. Um, I know you're not going to see them when they come. You'll have no idea they're coming if they're coming for you. But I do know that any predator's going to go for your neck first thing. I just fucking like the sweater would do anything. Yeah, just, and then love them all around my neck. And I got some sleep. I got a good 6 hours. That's what I always tell you folks, don't do this shit. Wow. Really free on. Interesting. Fuck. Hey, Tony, good to see you too. Yo, Laura, what the Mo for 12 raccoons? I am not 12 raccoons in a human suit. I'll tell you right now, I am 13 raccoons in a human suit. That's a secret. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. You know, lonely with the Harvey. Yo, what up, Super Micro? I saw your video this morning. I try not to like you're always on my For You page, and I try not to like over like comment on your shit, so you don't think I'm stalking you. So I saw your video this morning when I was getting up, and again, I was only fucking scrolling for like 5 minutes. I started on my live, but I saw your video where it's like, what was it when you're about to date someone and they have like a girl best friend, and you're like, nope. I forget what song you used, but I was like, it's a fucking good point. Because like anyone I've dated that has a guy best friend, it's always been weird. You know what I mean? Like there's always a juxtaposition and like I don't know, it's always uncomfortable for me, right? And I was like, let me chalk that up to my jealousy. If I'm taking it back to the amount of people I've dated, let's just say there was 10, at least two of them were banging that dude. Like on the slide, there's clear signs, and you're like, nah, that can't be it. No, no, I'm being jealous. I'm being jealous. I am a very jealous person when I date someone. I know that about me, and I make it not anyone else's problem. I don't put that on the person I'm dating. I don't make it a them problem. I just keep it to myself. I might say like, hey, that made me jealous. And fucking, I'm even sorry that made me jealous. You know what I mean? Like I try not to be toxic with it to the best of my abilities. But again, like a good 20 to 30% of anyone I've dated that has like a guy best friend, they're usually banging on the down low. You know? Or like you could tell they clearly like the person you're dating wants to date that person, but that person doesn't want to date them for whatever reason, and you're like, oh man, there's nothing worse than feeling like second string. You know, like oh, you settled for me. How lovely. Super micro with the rose, the GG, the chilies, and the Lovix, whatever that is. Thank you. Brian, happy Sunday. On God. Oh, undead is homie. You're in Missoula. Yeah, it's fucking beautiful out here. I haven't checked out like I was on I was in WYE, and now I went to Bonner by the copper mines. Had no cell service. Ended up back here in East Missoula. I haven't checked the downtown out itself. Kind of trying to avoid it, but I might have to backtrack. This on ramp, I've seen two cars all fucking morning on this on ramp. You know what I mean? I might be here for a while, but I don't fucking at least hit the next on ramp. Now, I hate that I even got to say this out loud or even have to think like this, right? But Bonner is a fucking major truck stop. I can get a ride out there lickety split, you know. But if I get stuck there for 3 or 4 days, they have copper mines all over the place. So with copper, you get no cell service. I was right next to a cell tower, still had barely any service. I could just like hit people up on Discord, you know. Probably just I'm assuming before then. We're gonna be back on the road before Halloween post break. But and it's so shitty. Like, oh, like I spent a whole day with no service. I was fine. I got no problem with that. But we start looking at 2, 3, 4 days. If I get stuck there with no ride, I don't have any cell service. It's like I can't work. You know what I mean? Like I want to consider this work. I enjoy it too much, but a lot of work goes into it, and that's where I make my income. 3, 4 days, no live streaming, no posting. I can do all the editing in the world, but I won't be able to post anything. It's like, oh, like can my wallet afford 3 or 4 days of not getting an income? The answer is no. So I decided to backtrack today morning. Get here to East Missoula. So if I'm gonna go anywhere, it's gonna be deeper into Missoula. I need to get out of here. You know. No, this is one of the few times ever since I've been in grizzly country. I don't have my bear mace like within arm's reach, but my camera bag, which is right there. I know it's kind of hard. Let me zoom in for you guys. We got technologies. A little camera bag right there. Yeah, it's like a weatherman. We got the low front coming in from the west. My camera bag right there. That goes with me everywhere. And fortunately for me, I'm a big guy, so no one bothers me about carrying a purse around. That goes with me everywhere. Everywhere I go, my camera comes with me. Like, and there's too many times throughout my travel where I didn't have a phone or a camera on me, and something cool happens, and I can't get any footage of it. I'm like, fuck. So even no matter where I'm doing, what I'm doing, where I'm going, that bag is with me. It's on my shoulder or strapped around me. So all I did, and once I got the grizzly country, I took my bear mace, I put it in my camera bag. So my bear mace is always within arm's reach. This is the first time in the entire time I've been in grizzly country here that I don't. It's not within arm's reach. It's 15 feet away. Uh, yo, Matthew Mello, what's up, man? I might end up in Wyoming. Fucking travels heavy, donations unlimited because I'm struggling. But I love your travels, homie. I'm just happy you watch. Don't worry about fucking giving me money at all, in the slightest. You know, especially if you're hard up. You know, like if you're struggling, man, you fucking don't worry about this. Watch, enjoy the show. No one gets preferential treatment based on donations and gifts and shit like that. Nah, you know. I remember when I first started doing this. And I'm like, dude, if I could make any one person's day a little bit better, you know, just a little bit fucking better, to take their mind off what's going on with them, what's going on in the world, what's going on in the country, you know, or just fucking, make someone laugh, for a fucking quick minute, just to make you guys forget about your fucking problems for a moment, then it's a win, you know? And there's more than one person. I'm doing that to tens of thousands of people every day see my shit, live streams, the videos and all that, you know? And the amount of times I'll go fucking live and I'll get a message like, yo, man, I've been bedridden for a week, been bedridden for a month, and I got to watch your fucking lives and got me through it. It took my mind off it for a bit. Fuck yes. That's the whole point of all this, you know? So don't ever worry about the bottom line, you know what I mean? Like, I'll be fine no matter what. The worst case scenario, if I'm ever really, really hard up, which never really happens, not anymore, I might go a little broke for a day or two. That's it. But if I'm ever really hard up, I always got the hobo credit card. Grab a marker, a piece of cardboard, fucking hold it up. Florida boy with the army. Carol, what's up, homie? I'm doing well today. Hope you're doing well as well. No, I've never had to use my bear mace. I've never even seen a grizzly bear, and I don't. I have no problem with that. I like to keep it that way. I'm not in a car doing safari. You know what I mean? I'm on foot. So if I ever bump into a grizzly bear, they no longer want me on this fucking planet. It would be hard. So I have no problem not seeing a bear. I've seen plenty of fucking brown bear and black bear. That's good enough for me. They're like dogs. You just yell at them, they run away. So the brown bear stuff, like West Raton, New Mexico, they got signs all over the town that's like, if you see a brown bear, fight it. What? They say if a brown bear attacks you, you're supposed to fight back. If a grizzly bear attacks you, you're supposed to play dead, Which like I couldn't. I'm not that good of an actor, dude. You mean a bear's mauling me, and while actively being mauled, I'm just gonna lay on the ground and fucking feign death. And death. The brown bear hit you. You're supposed to go in. I've seen baby mountain lions when I was up in Libby. Oh, I haven't seen that movie in so long, Maddie. I kind of remember, but not really. Sitting still, right? Sitting in an area, I'm not worried about fucking anything, right? There's always a chance, yes, but there's always a chance you and your car are gonna get in an accident, right? There's always a chance something can happen, but like that's fucking life. Unfortunately for all of us, we're not immortal, right? And whenever it's time for me to go, I do so with a smile on my face. I live the life worth living, I felt I lived a life that made me happy and made me fulfilled with fucking hardly anything. And I love what I do. I love what I do. So no matter what happens to me, whenever it's time for me to go, just know I did it with a smile on my face. I'll meet my maker fucking with glee, knowing I lived a life worth living. Right? Because no matter what, we're all going to find that game over screen, and a lot of people lament that. A lot of people worry about that last moment, the inevitable moment we're all going to experience. So many people worry about that so fucking much that they'll do whatever they can to prevent it, which a lot of times will prevent you from living. You know what I mean? If you're living in fear of one inevitable moment your entire life, and that keeps you from doing anything it's going to be a fond memory in your older years, in your elder years, you're not living. You know what I mean? You destroyed your own life to try to prolong it for as humanly possible. And how much time do we need? How much time do you fucking need here, guys? You know what I mean? With the revelations of fucking modern day medicine in the last 100 years alone, our life expectancy is almost fucking doubled. How much time do you fucking need it? You gotta try every beer, every wine, every food, meet every person, just enjoy the ride. If you can't enjoy the ride, you won't enjoy the destination. Rev Run from Rum DMC said that. But back to what I was saying. When I'm just sitting here, I ain't worried about shit. You know what I mean? Like something might roll up, like that bear last year rolled up when I was under my tarp, probably trying to find the food I was cooking. And all I did was yell at it and ran off. See you later. And went right back to doing what I was doing. Like continue cooking my food and everything. But when I'm hiking, that's when you usually bump into shit. That's when you see the snakes, the venomous snakes, and the mountain lions, bears. That's when you usually bump into stuff because they're walking around too. You know, and you just got to be smart about it. When you're taking, if you can't see past that corner, start making noise. That way, whenever you turn that corner, whatever's there knows you were coming up. How they even sell bells out here. So that way you have a bell on you that's constantly jingling when you're walking around so you won't surprise a bear. You know, there's no apex predators in the lower 48. An apex predator is something that we as humans have decided hunts humans. Polar bears, great white sharks, lions, tigers. We are on their menu. The only thing we got to worry about in the lower 48, the continental U.S. The only thing it's going to worry about is startling an animal like a grizzly bear. You startle them, they might fucking just fucking come at you. Especially if you're near their young or near their den or their lair, whatever animal you're looking at, um, or opportunistic hunters. You know, if you're vulnerable, a gator's coming for you. You know, if you break your leg and you're near an alligator pit, they're coming for you. They are very opportunistic. They'll take what they can get. The other thing we got to really worry about is people that don't know what they're doing. You know what I mean? They see an animal and they're like, "Oh, how cute," and they try to feed it, right? Or they do feed it. Now that animal looks at us like a food source. There should be a healthy fear between humans and animals. Hands the fuck down. Should be a healthy fear. Chickasaw, what's up, homie? Thank you for the hot meat. Sing loudly, yeah. I don't blame you at all. Hiking solo, I just make some noise. Hey, hey, hi, hey, yo, oh, as I'm fucking walking up on something and I can't see through the overgrowth or I got to cut that corner or whatever. But yeah, I was saying there should be a healthy fear between animals and humans, hands down. It's best for both of us. Unfortunately, when these situations occur, when like bears look at humans like a food source and they're not afraid of us, it usually ends up with the bear being put down, unfortunately. Like a vast majority of times it's the bear being put down and the animal being put down. But even like when we say like look at humans like a food source, we all think the same thing, I feel, where it's like, a human fed that animal. But no, it can even be dumpsters. It can even be just trash left around. Or if you're people that burn trash at campgrounds. Like, if you have food open, there's a good amount of distance an animal can smell that from, especially if they're downwind from it. If you burn your trash, you burn your food scraps, or you burn whatever packaging it came in, dude, miles, miles that scent is out in the air. It's fucking crazy. Mm. So, like Allegheny up in New York, Pennsylvania, I think they do it right. like as soon as you go into the campground, as you're checking in, they're explaining to you, don't do that shit. Lock your food up with your bear boxes. Make sure you use them. You know, a lot of black bear in that area, a lot of brown bear in that area. I think they do it right, but a lot of camp, even some of the campgrounds I've gone to, they don't give you any bear information at all. Like I was in Kalispell, it's grizzly bears all around that area. It's a very grizzly heavy, dominant fucking county, Flathead County and Lincoln County and shit, right? And not a single talk about a bear at all. I'm like, bro, a tourist can show up. A great campground. The one I stayed at was fucking fantastic. They were fucking awesome. It was really cool. And I didn't want to pay 100. I don't want to pay $350 for a motel. So paying $50 a day for fucking a night for a campground was perfect. You know, but you got a tourist who knows nothing about bears, never looked it up, never thought to look it up, never told to look it up, shows up and then starts fucking burning their trash and all that, is putting that scent out there, or not putting their food in the dumpsters, is leaving their fucking trash around the campsite or whatever because they don't know any better. It's a recipe for disaster. Um, no matter what you're doing, if you're doing outside stuff, RV stuff, or fucking camping or whatever you're doing, look up the local area. Just fucking Google what you need to know when you get there. Talk to locals, about the wildlife in the area. Find out what they don't like about tourists. In this area, for example, they're going to talk a lot about people leaving food out for bears, people uh, making their fires too big, even if you have a fire pit. You know, or setting a campfire out with nothing, just have like a rock pit. They'll put the rocks on the outside for a fire pit, and that's it. Can't have that out here. You can start a wildfire, stuff like that. It's always good to talk to the locals and get their feedback. You know, really, home scale. Interesting. I didn't think about that. Those damn Tauruses and Scorpios ruin it for everybody, not tourists. Which is so fucking weird to me. No one treats me like a tourist. Yeah. Everywhere I go, everyone treats me like a local. Yeah, it's so fucking cool. Because like they'll be sitting there like, in Whitefish, they're bashing tourists, just bashing like, yeah, we need it for the local economy, but probably a whole laundry list of shit they hated about the tourism in Whitefish. And I'm like, guys, I'm a tourist. They're like, no, 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 you're a tourist, yeah, but you're not a tourista. These are fucking touristas over here. You're not one of them. All right, you know, I don't know. It works out, like I can talk to anybody about anything. Fucking tell me the whole life story and everything about an area. I'll learn shit that you can't even look up on the internet about a local area, just talking to the locals and shit. Uh, Cosplaying whitefish, not sure what you mean. The tourists there, you know what I mean? Like the Huckleberry Festival was going on when I was there, and people are just showing up for tourist season, especially the last little push of tourist season. But the cosplay, yes, yes, I know exactly what you mean. From talking to the locals. Yeah, you'll be talking to like a rancher, right? Got the cowboy hat, overalls, the boots, so the snakes don't bite their ankles. But you'll have people that show up to Whitefish and then just go and drop like $1,000 on a cowboy outfit, and then just walking around cosplaying fucking cowboys and shit. I know exactly what you mean. The locals is fucking dogging them the whole time. Went from wearing a fucking suit every day to wearing a cowboy outfit. I think I don't know, like you'll see it on here to a degree if you see me like working my way into a community for like a creator I like to try to collab with or whatever the fuck, I kind of just show up and I shut up. You know what I mean? I'll show up. I do that in real life and I do that on here. I don't go out of my way to force a conversation with someone. Like for Whitefish to talk to the locals up there, I went to the VFW, I ordered a beer and I sat there. Drank my beer, went out for a puff. One of the locals were out there puffing. And they're like, hey, what's with all that stuff? Why don't you bring that inside? I'm like, yeah, man, it's 2026. Stop bringing a bunch of military gear into a fucking VFW. People are going to get a little weirded out. And it's how it is. It's what we got to deal with here in America. They leave it outside, right? Oh, what are you doing? Well, hey, I travel the country, yada, 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 yada. The guy gets really curious, still standoffish because that's how you guys are here in Montana. Montana, Wyoming, you got that thing where it's like you'll be really curious, but like you don't want to intrude, so you kind of back away. You want to feel the person out a little bit first before you really engage. So same vibe up here in Montana and Wyoming. But an hour later, all of a sudden, I got three locals around me, and we're all fucking doing a shot, shooting the shit, and laughing and joking our ass off. But I never go into a place like I own the place. I guess is the point of what I'm getting. No matter what the situation is, I never walk in like I did this. I was starting new jobs and stuff like that. I walk in, and I listen. I keep my mouth shut. I listen, and I wait for someone to talk to me. And it works every fucking time. Every time. But yeah, I'm a curious looking creature. No matter where I'm at, you can tell I'm not from there. The moment I start talking, I'm not fucking from there. Like that's a fucking Yankee accent I've ever heard. You see all the gear and equipment that raises questions, you know, and assumptions right off the rip. People see the gear and they're like homeless person, you know. But whenever I'm going to any kind of group of people, anywhere, right, in any capacity, I listen first and I keep my mouth shut. You know, all right, I don't want to talk to that person. That person is just making shit up as they go. That's not going to be my source of information on the area. Ignore that person. All right, this motherfucker keeps looking over here at me, and every time I look over, he looks away. I'm like, all right, he's just really curious about who I am and what I'm doing. All right, like that guy's probably gonna open up to me or something. You know what I mean? Start feeling it out. Listen to what people are saying. Don't force myself onto a group of people, I guess. But be there, be present. You can't be like way off to the side by yourself. You got to be near people. Otherwise, let's forget about you. Oh, beautiful mountains in the background. No, no, don't look at those. Look at me. You know what I mean? I need the sweet, sweet attention. Christine with the heart. Oh, a ranch hand scam? I can see that. Oh, yeah, touristas have a fancy car, travel as a backpack, or a beat up fucking rig. I like that, Brian. Looking at you. Thank you so much. All right. I guess we can look at the background since you gave me that sweet, sweet validation, homie. Appreciate you. Hope you doing. Hope you're doing well. Daniel Lee Prescott, what's up, homie? Charlie, what's up? Daniel Lee, how fucking dare you? I think it was you, right? Pretty sure it was you. You left a comment on my video about doing a book. Like what's the country look like from the eyes of a person who studies stoicism? But at the end of the comment, you're like, I think it was you. You're like, oh, you probably don't even read this far. I'm like, I read every fucking comment, brother. I read every fucking. That's why I only do one platform. I tell you right now, it's the only reason I do one platform is for the community building. Otherwise, I'd post my videos on fucking six and just fucking try to make as much money as I can. Um, I stick to one. I focus on one, so that way I can read all your comments that you leave on the videos. If I hit like, I read your comment, the whole fucking thing. You know, most of the time. Sometimes people just start fucking telling me about their day and shit. I don't know, but most of the time, I'll read the entire comment. Was not you. All right, ignore everything I just said. Then got an empty coal train. The empty coal goes out towards Wyoming. Probably the Cheyenne gets filled up, sent back out this way. So the full coal comes in this way. Empty coal gets sent out from here. Uh, Let me go grab it now. It's going a touch too fast. Even if I didn't carry all this shit, it'd still be going a touch too fast to grab. Big things moving fast look a lot slower than they really are. That's probably going a good 20 miles an hour now, maybe 15 at the lowest. Yeah, for branding and money, would have been smarter for me to post on a bunch of different platforms. But like, that's not what I want to do. I want to at least know you guys to some degree in what I'm doing. You know what I mean? To some extent, see the same names and the same faces. But I took that cue from the people on that purple app, the twitchy one. Watch what I say on here, the twitchy one, because community building is very important for those live streamers. It's a key like caveat to like growing a platform. Or the red play button app. you really don't know the people that are watching you at all. Most of the people that look at the fucking comment section for their videos, and I didn't really want that. Here, you kind of have a choice. On TikTok, you have a choice. You can either go and never know anyone that's fucking never even look at your comment section and just do whatever, or you can get to know the people that are watching you. And I prefer the community building for sure. Iowa's beautiful, yeah. Bighorn Mountain, shit like that, fucking otherworldly. Yeah, I'm sure I'll get on a train again at some point. I got one out of Washington, so I hitchhiked out of Portland all the way across Oregon and Washington. Got to Spokane, hopped the train into Montana. Um, got jammed up here with a whole bunch of like community shit, community tragedy, fucking personal shit. That's a whole shit all in one big swoop. So that kind of jammed me up here in Montana for a bit. But at some point, I'll get back. I'll get back on the rails for a quick hop or something. Uh, Hell yeah, Bishop. I mean, I've been sitting here looking at these things for years. You know, I gotta go back to Wyoming anyway. I'm hoping to hit it coming down the 90 and end up in Cheyenne. I gotta talk to the Wyoming folks because the last time I was in Wyoming was during the Biden administration, and they're like, "We need to open up these power plants. Like, we need to open up these coal mines. We're gonna open up these power plants. We gotta get this shit going." And because like some of the small towns in Wyoming were just fucking like an economic fucking hardship. Because clean energy kind of bills and stuff like that. So I'm curious if that has changed. I'm curious if that's changed. There's only one way to find out. Show up and talk to the people that are fucking living there. Uh, oh yeah, I'm very lucky. I didn't being a bartender for 10 years helped me be social, right? Before that I was very awkward, very shy. I'm still shy, it's really good at hiding it now. But I don't know, like everything I did in my life kind of set me up for this, and to be good at it, to be proficient at it. I'm a curious creature. I want to know how everything works. I need to know how everything fucking works. I was that weird kid taking phones apart as a kid. You know what I mean? Like my parents would go to the store for a couple hours. I'd take the fucking house phone apart, can't put it back together. My parents get pissed at me because they can't buy a new one yet. I need to know how everything works. And being a curious creature and just kind of walking around the country and hitchhiking and hopping trains and shit, like trying to learn about an area. I'm curious. How's the economy here even work? Is it just tourism? Is it just people passing through town? Is it built on blue collar? What's the deal here? Is there something over that hill we can't see? You know what I mean? Is there like a big old fucking data center back there that we can't see, and that's the local economy? Is there an Amazon fucking warehouse or distribution center back there? Was this town over here floundering out until they built a Walmart and people had a place to work? You can hate Walmart all day, and I do. You can hate Walmart all day, but some places the entire economy is built around working at fucking Walmart, you know? Just getting people off the highway or an interstate to come through and fucking incentivize them to keep it open. And I love that shit. I love that shit. I talk to chambers of commerce. Visitor centers are great. They're great for local information, but you got to add in the locals too, right? If you talk to a visitor center or even like in Austin, Minnesota, where the spam museum is, you talk to the people that work at the spam museum, like everyone loves spam. Spam's amazing. It's a spam commercial. It does help the local economy a shit ton. The entire fucking foundation is built on fucking spam. Canned ham, seasoned canned ham. But you talk to the locals, they fucking hate spam. They hate it. They'd eat it every day growing up. You know what I mean? They fucking hate spam. They would probably rather starve than ever open a can of spam again, right? But you talk to the visitor center, you talk to the spam museum, they're like, oh, everyone loves spam. Spam's great, You're getting basically like a palatable packaged version of that area. And that's every visitor center you talk to. So you get the whole history of an area, but they're going to get away from anything that's bad. Anything that's gnarly, they're going to get away from, except for Cozad, Nebraska. Cozad, Nebraska is the exception because they embrace the horrible things that the guy that started the town did. John Cozad. Started two towns, Cozad, Nebraska, and Cozad Dale, Ohio. Cozadale, Ohio is like it's a shithole. There's nothing there now. You know what I mean? It's like a population of like fucking 500 or something like that. I haven't been there, I've only heard about it. But Cozad, Nebraska became the agricultural center of Nebraska and surrounding states for the most part, you know. Yeah, like Iowa, Iowa doesn't need Nebraska, for example. But oh, because this guy who gambled a shit ton that was generationally, like his father, his grandfather, they all started towns. That's what they did. They just started towns. So he went gambling, made a shit ton of money, professional gambler, and started up two towns, Cozad, Dale, Ohio, and Cozad, Nebraska. So while in Cozad, Nebraska, he bought the town from the Union Pacific Train Company for X amount of dollars back in the day, built the town, started a city hall, started a police force, and then had to run from his own police force. He had to flee the town before he got arrested and imprisoned for unaliving a rancher. That was his. He was a good dude. He was a great father. He was a great husband. Even agriculturally, they were growing one thing, I forget what, and then two bad two bad seasons. They had no harvest for 2 seasons. Everyone's starving. He brought in corn. That's the only reason they grow corn in there in the area now. He just bought a shit ton of corn seeds, handed out to the farmers, and they started making corn out there instead. You know, co-ops and ethanol plants. But besides being an awesome human, he also liked to unalive people. Like so he gets in an argument with the rancher, things escalate, and bang, 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 see you later. And then he had to flee his own town that he started. He had to flee his own police force that he began with. My opinion on the Chris McCandless story. I've always been inspired by Alex Supertramp, Chris McCandles. I've met people that grew up with him. I got to see a lot of photos of him as a kid playing baseball and shit like that. He grew up in West Virginia. But and everyone I talked to that knew him personally, like grew up with him, yeah, three people, but anyone that I talked to that knew him personally all said the same thing. Like, everyone wants to play it off like we never saw it coming. Like no one was surprised. No one was surprised that fucking Chris fucked off. But yeah, Into the Wild is a big inspiration of mine. Easy Rider, Into the Wild, Stove the Hobo, Hobo Shoestring. And I know there's some of you thinking like, wait, but Troy, all these people have passed away. Like, yeah, no shit, we all do. It's a matter of time, you know. Um, I do like how all those stories, and especially the Chris McCandles Into the Wild story, I love. I don't know. It would have been cool to see any. Like, I'm sorry, you guys are stuck with me instead, but it would have been cool to see any of those cats live stream. You know what I mean? Ask them questions in real time, talk to them in real time while they're doing shit. You know what I mean? That's fucking tight. That would have been badass. Just, the technology wasn't there yet. John with the follow, thank you. What's up, Mimsy? What's up, Shadow? Uh, but how quick an inspirational tale can become a cautionary tale? You know, like hell yeah, man, this guy didn't have to do this. Chris McCandless out of Super Champ. He was very well off. He could have just kept living that life. And he's like, no, this isn't for me. I'm tapping out. And he left. Definitely fucked up along the way, but like, so did I. Like burning his ID. And then you realize you need an ID out here. You need to have an ID. You know, little mistakes like that. But the cautionary part of his tale of like saying, fuck it, going to Alaska. Yeah, I think he was out here for years and he didn't have any real insight from like, like I got the think tank that is social media. Jan, what's up, homie? Thank you for the heartbeat. Um, his insight was limited. You know what I mean? Like everything he had was books and talking. Right? So he goes to Alaska, gets out there, very fucking desolate area, sees a small creek, crosses it, starts hanging out, setting up camp in a school bus. And then all the waters of the snow ahead of him, north of him, melted, flooded out both sides of where he was at. No way out. You know, he's got a book on edibles in Alaska. Now, it's theorized. Again, it's all a theory. No one knows exactly what happened. But that book he had talked about Indian potatoes. Damn, we looking thick. God damn, we looking thick. But the book he had talked about Indian potatoes, right? Well, you're not supposed to eat the roots. If you eat the roots of an Indian potato, it paralyzes your stomach. and then you no matter how much you eat, you will still starve. So it's theorized that's what happened with him, where the book he had never mentioned the roots at all. It just talked about the potato and how to like, eat the potato, but then harvest it, but never talked about not eating the roots. So it's theorized when he was flooded out on both sides and food was, very limited, he trying to use as much as he can. He probably ate the roots of the Indian potato, and that's what paralyzed his stomach. And that's how he ended up starving. Or the other theory is just wasn't any food in this little island he ended up on, you know. But no matter what, like he left a mark. Like we're talking about it now, right? Like he left a mark on the world. Like no matter, you can never take that away from him. People that dog him or people that really find him inspiring, yeah, can't take that away. He left his mark, hands down. Just a story in a fucking journal. But it got to the point where so many people were going to the same spot, which is fucking dumb. I hate to say it, people passed away in the situation, but that's fucking dumb. All right, this guy went to this spot and he passed away. I'm going to the same spot. And so many people kept going up there and either fucking shit up or getting themselves stuck or unalive. Took the bus away. Just fucking helicoptered the bus out of there. Huge wreck shown. Thank you for the Harvey. What up, Heathrow? Mm-mm. What up, Tammy Brown? Good to see you. What's up, homie? What's up? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. I enjoy your conceitedness. Oh yeah, man, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Oh yeah, it's bad. I'm lying arrogant on most days. Good morning, TNT. Oh, I was talking about Mimsy. Oh, it's your birthday today, Timmy? Happy fucking birthday. Happy birthday. I hope you have a day filled with excitement, filled with memories that you're going to remember for the rest of your life, or you just relax like a motherfucker. Either of those are very viable for most days, even on your birthday, especially on your birthday. Or either one of those are very viable. You know, they go make an amazing memory you're going to remember for the rest of your life, something exciting, hopefully, or just have the most chill fucking day you possibly can. Like your sweatshirt, Brooke? Fuck yeah, dude. Glad you like it. That's why I was really nervous doing the merch. Because, like, I don't have an address. I'm on the road. You know what I mean? So I can't get, like, prototypes and shit, or, like samples. So I really had no idea what anyone's going to be getting. I never worked with my supplier before. I knew they were good at what they did. I know they worked for other creators and currently and in the past. So I was like, all right, like, let's fucking do it. I'm sick of I was using Teespring forever. I'm like, I fucking hate Teespring. I charge $1 per item. You're still paying over $25 for a t-shirt. The fuck out of it. So I wasn't sure if like people would like it. I had no idea. But when after like 2 weeks after we set up the merch last year, people started getting their items and everyone was fucking in love with what they got. I'm like hell to the yeah, dude. Hell to the yeah, because that's nerve wracking shit for me. Because I actually give a fuck. It's like damn, people hate this. Oh man, you know, spending your hard earned money for something that you didn't like is a horrifying fucking fear of mine. But I haven't had a single person get their stuff and not be happy with it. Very happy with it. Fuck yeah. Happy. It's a Sunday. It is Sunday, so I'm getting paid tomorrow for TikToks. Concrete man. What's up, homie? Thank you for the help. I'm gonna use my powers of ESPN on you, Concrete man. You ready? Okay, okay, okay. I'm getting some information from your ancestors, Concrete man. They are telling me that you currently or in the past have worked with concrete. You know what I mean? I just woke up with these powers one day. I just woke up with the ability to be able to talk to people's ancestors to find out their current or previous employment. Not to brag. I know, concrete man, you didn't even have to tell me I got it. I know I got it, baby. I know I got it. You know what I mean? I'm just that good. I'm just that good. All right, who's next? What's the psychic reading? For the low cost of $9,900, you can get a psychic reading today. Anything interesting happening on the streets of TikTok? Especially in the traveling streets of TikTok. I haven't been keeping up. I made two fuckers paranoid for being a horrible human being. It was fun. Uh, Chickasaw. Let's see, Chickasaw. I'm gonna use my powers of ESPN here. Talk to your ancestors. I'm gonna say you have a large portion of native blood in you, indigenous American blood in you. Tell me I'm wrong. It's nothing to do with the emote and the name Chickasaw. What's up, Montana? Montana, I'm using my powers of ESPN on you. All right, Montana 06408. I'm gonna say your ancestors are telling me that you either have lived or currently live in Montana. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Yeah, Heathrow. I was talking to my supplier, was setting everything up, and she was like, "Look, you can be as hands on or as hands off on this as you want, but here's a couple of ideas." I'm like, "Just run it, just run it." So I know Chico, so I'm good. I was like, "You do this for a living." Tell my supplier, I'm like, "You do this for a living. I don't." You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna we can retroactively, if I don't like something, we can take it away, but just full send whatever you want to do. Don't check with me. You don't have to fucking get my permission for everything. Just send it, put it up. You know. And then I never would have thought tumblers, blankets. The blankets are fucking cheap too. They're like what, $15 for a blanket. That's cool as shit. Mouse pads and fucking, all that stuff. I never would have even thought of fucking doing because I don't do merch for a living, right? When she set it all up, sends it all out, I'm like, this is beautiful. This is perfect. I'm not gonna go to a carpenter and start teaching them how to weld and talk about welding. You know what I mean? Like, you let someone else that does it for a living run with it. No, I've never been to Yosemite. Have I? No, I've not. I've been through Glacier and I just went in a little bit of Glacier this time around, but excuse me, wow. Never done Yosemite, which is crazy to me, right? Yosemite Sam, I always pegged for like a southerner, like southeast of the country. Growing up watching Looney Tunes, Yosemite Sam. Yosemite's like pretty far fucking up north, I'd say, if I understand correctly. We're at the part of the coffee I can't really drink anymore. So the coffee grounds are now. So you lose a couple ounces, 2 ounces at the end. Again, most of it's just fucking coffee grounds anyway. It's the bad part about cowboy coffee. I'm not sure. I never had Turkish coffee. It's cowboy coffee. You just put the grounds in the fucking hot. You boil up water and put coffee in it. No filter or nothing. And then you let it sit. You stir it all up. You let it sit. Stir it up again after a couple minutes, and then the grounds will start sinking as it cools off. But you put a little bit of cold water on top, and then even blowing on it helps because it cools off the grounds and gets them down. Cold sinks, heat rises, right? And then you have the entire cup of coffee. You won't even get any grounds in your mouth at all. But the very end, if you forget, I have ADHD, so I'm constantly fucking not paying attention. So when I get to the end, if I don't clock it, I take a big old fucking sip, or like I'll try to finish the cup off like I'm wanting to do. Like, oh, it's only a little bit left. Boom. And then it's like getting coffee out of my fucking mouth. You know. Oh. Hi, Elaine. I'm not doing too much exploring. I'm just trying to get some miles. This is the main focus to try to get back to Boston. No, Fresno was not my worst experience by far. Fresno wasn't bad at all. I had a good time in Fresno. Um, I could. I've Las Vegas, probably my worst experience traveling. I was just constantly being fucking harassed everywhere I went. It's like managers of the stores, owners, fucking security, cops, fucking federal marshals. Like everyone was just breaking my fucking balls everywhere I went. Yeah, like I was trying to exist and spend money in your town. When I didn't have the pack, the first night I had a motel. Walk around, no one bothered me one bit. But when I put the pack on, dude, everywhere I went, just get fucking harassed. I got to go back. It might have been just like my bad luck. There's certain places I went to, just I happen to bump into shitheads. But Vegas, no, I wasn't stuck in Vegas. I was there with a rubber tramp I was dating. Or we were there for like 4 or 5 days, I think. Um, oh, Fresno. Well, that whole okay. Was I stuck in Fresno? That whole 99 I took, through the grapevine. Once I got out of the grapevine through LA and then into Bakersfield, Kern County, and all the way up 99, all the way to Sacramento. Those was long fucking rides. Like those were long hitchhikes. It took me 3 or 4 days for every ride, for the most part. Sometimes I got a ride in one day. Sometimes I got one in two, but like 90% plus was 3 or 4 days for every fucking. I'm talking 6 to 8 hours out there trying to get a fucking ride. And when I got a ride, it'd be like 15 to 20 minutes up the road, and then 3 or 4 more days for another 15 to 20 minutes up. It took me a month to get from fucking LA to Sacramento. It's a long time. But whenever I committed to hitchhiking, still 3 or 4 days I was out of town. I think the last place I was like stuck was Raton, New Mexico. Over like January. I was up about like December, January. Along this way. So usually I'm only in the car for an hour or two. You think I'm live streaming for hours when I'm hitchhiking, then I'm in the car and I'm putting a show on the whole time. You know what I mean? Like it's just me. Like if you meet me in person, obviously I don't talk this much. That'd be weird for me to keep fucking talking at you. Like I'm on live stream, I got to keep fucking rapping about something. But I'm sitting there talking to the live for hours, and then I'm jumping in the car and talking to them for an hour or two. Like I'm done with social interaction by the end of that. You know what I mean? That could be 5 or 6 hours of me just fucking yapping. So I'm pretty drained socially at the end of that, the end of all that. So usually I'm only in the car for an hour or two. There was a time, not last summer, the summer before, so it's like 2024. I got a ride for like 650 miles from Missouri all the way to South Dakota. That was the longest one. But honestly, any ride, like a long ride here, I'm trying to get back to Boston, I'll probably take it. I took a 3 hour ride just to get down out of Flathead County into Missoula County. Oh, one way in, one way out. Talking about buttholes? Sorry, bad joke. Carl Cole with the Dolphins. Someone asked me what my favorite place is. I don't have one. Everywhere I go, I enjoy. Even in Vegas, when I was getting harassed all the time, I still had a blast. I still had a great time. You know, uh, there was one night. The person I was dating was like conventionally very attractive. You know what I mean? So we were hanging out, and she was looking around, and she's like, look at these girls walking around. They just get like they just like she worked at those adult houses up in Nevada, like Elko and shit. She was like, "Hey, like I have clothes just like that, for work. We could just pop some of that on and walk around the strip, just make sure no one jumps me." So we walked around, and all it was her going up to guys and be like, "Want to take a photo?" And take a photo, and they give her like $5 to $20. I'm like, what? Like I could never do that. You know what I mean? I don't get jealous often, but I was very envious of that. I was just like, wait, you can just. I wish I could just put on a bikini and walk around and make money. That'd be fucking tight. you know? Hey guys, want to take a picture? Get away from me, you giant headed hobo. Like, god damn, must be nice. But on the other end of that, you know what I mean? I can just look like this and travel. She would like she'd basically just look like a fucking boy. You know what I mean? She'd wear like really baggy clothes, very unflattering clothes. Put her hair up in a hat like this, and then put a hood up most of the time. Just to look like the least appealing, so no one would bother her. You know, I forget the name of the joint she worked at. It was Madam something or other. Which they got a pretty cool hustle too. Because like to get the truckers to come in, like every day, every week for 2 hours, everyone that works there, they have to sit there on the radio and like promote the fucking legal house. I gotta watch what I say on here. I'm gonna get a fucking suspension. Promote the legal house to the truckers, trying to get them in. What's your ideal woman? I don't really have like a stipulation for that, really. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, most people I date do like SW stuff one way or another. I don't know the correlation there, but that's like a long a long standing thing, a very common trend with most people I date. They do some kind of SW kind of work. But I don't know, man. I, probably like going into my 30s, I started feeling this way, and I still feel it today. It's like if you can make me laugh and make me think, like I'm fucking yours. Doesn't matter what you look like or whatever, like that. Like that might get my attention. But like I've seen some incredibly attractive people that once they start talking, they're very ugly to me. Or I've seen people I really don't find initially attractive at all. when they start talking, I find them very attractive. So if they can make me laugh and make me think, or at least have some like intellectual fucking substance to them. You know what I mean? Uh, they're still out there, man. You just gotta look for them. That's two long ass rides, man. Hell yeah. At first, anyway. Oh, are you trying to ship Miss Hobo Shopper at me? Oh, your candy cane. Fucking thing. Oh my god, that was fucked. No, at this stage of life, I consider myself emotionally unavailable. Real car Rosie art. Love the new profile picture. Thank you for the hat and mustache. Make sure you guys follow Real car Rosie art right here. Amazing social media creator. You got to see homie. You got to check her link tree and check her website out. You got to see her watercolor paintings. They're so fucking cool. It's at realcarrosieart.com, but you can just find it in a link tree. But the artistry. You know what I mean? It's fucking amazing. I wish I had half the talent for any endeavor I do. But going back to what you're saying, Texas, I consider myself emotionally unavailable. I am not looking for a relationship at all right now. Where would I find the fucking time? D with the go popular in the Harvey. What's up, homie? Yeah, where would I find the goddamn time? You know, everything I do is just so fucking time consuming. The traveling part itself, the taking these photos, getting these videos, and meeting people, talking with people, get a feel for the local fucking layout of the land, and social media stuff on top of that, the editing and the live streaming and all that. Like it doesn't leave a lot of time for spending hours talking to people. So talking to someone every day doesn't leave a lot of time for that. And believe it or not, there's not like a slew of women that want to sleep under bridges. It's a weird. I don't get. Wow, that's weird. I agree with this. Very strange, but it's not a lot of people that want to do what I do. They might love what I do. They might love me for what I do. They may get a huge kick out of it. But there's not a lot of people that are trying to get soaked when there's a fucking gnarly rainstorm or potentially freeze to death in the winter. It's I don't know. It's shocking to me too. Oh yeah, fucking beautiful out here, dude. I'll be in the plains again soon, though. I don't have too much mountain left, but I've been enjoying them up here. That's for sure. That's for sure. Ah, but yeah, I'm gonna be hitchhiking later. I gotta go get some breakfast in me. Got a protein shake and a banana on the fucking day, whatever they got for fruit, apple, banana, whatever. Protein shake to start my day off. Grab something to munch on later, some trail mix or something while I'm hitchhiking. Or right after. Try to get the fuck out of here. Um, I even have to stop and charge up tomorrow if I can't get a cheap motel. I say too, if I can get the fuck out of here, maybe I'll get a cheap motel. Howdy. Thank you, D. Save a horse, ride a cow to it. I'm gonna get some food in my life. I gotta pack up all this shit. It looks like a yard sale under this bridge. Look at all that shit. That's my trash bag. That's my pack and my sleeping bag. That's where I slept. That's where the sleeping mat was. And I'm sitting on it over here. Water, obviously. My camp stove where I made my coffee. My camera bag over here. But I hate, it's my computer bag was sitting right there. Must have fell out. But I hate when everything's a mess like that. Fucking drives me nuts. Miss Hobo Shopper. What's up, homie? And the jump scare. Hi, guys. Boogers in my nose. Jump scare. You're welcome. Anyone having a anyone having plans of not having a nightmare tonight? Welcome. Everything I carry weighs about 100 pounds, just under 100 pounds now. In the winter, it'll go up just past 100. Last year, I just carried everything I got now and just added a winter coat, a big old pea coat, a giant pea coat. I used it as a blanket, used it as a pillow, you know, thing was a workhorse for sure. So I'll probably do the same this year. I just got a big ass coat for winter. Once I leave Boston, I gotta worry about that, I'm sure. That's all I did last year. I just added a big ass coat into the gear, did 7 pound fucking coat or whatever. That's fine. But it keeps you somewhat in shape carrying all this shit. That's why I'm constantly chasing protein. Constantly chasing protein. If I ever could hit my actual they say if you're gonna be physically active, you should have 1 gram of protein per pound. I weigh 235 pounds right now. I can't afford that. You know what I want to? My whole day would be just drinking protein shakes and eating. But I try to hit 100. I try to hit at least 100 a day. Like yesterday, I didn't eat too much. I kept at about 100. But ideally, I try to get to 150 grams of protein a day. And then uh, a couple, like 3 days a week, I want to get about 3,000 calories in me. Depending on how much I'm walking and shit like that, obviously. I want to get about 3,000 calories a day. And then the carbs. And then, I'll do calorie deficiencies 2 or 3 days a week just to keep some resemblance of fucking being slim. And then for carbs, I try to keep that to a minimum because it's so easy to get carbs in the way. You know what I mean? If there's nothing in town except for McDonald's, that's all I'm eating for hot food. So you got to keep that in check. Sodium and carbs, I try to keep to a minimum because everything in America has fucking sodium and carbs in it. It's not hard to get. You know, it's a never ending workout. I don't have a choice. I got to. What up, Pikachu's mom? Good to see you, homie. What's up, Skydive? Yeah, the Buckley's over here. Yeah, you guys are sitting on Buckley. Bucket. My little tripod. Travel food, if I'm gonna be going out for a while or grabbing a train or something, I usually just grab tortillas. So I don't have to worry about squishing them, they come pre-squished. Tortillas, peanut butter, or no stir almond butter. It has to be no stir. I just get sick of peanut butter after a while, you know what I mean? So I try to get something different. So the almond butter by itself, it'll separate. So I got to mix it every time, and everything gets super dirty. My spoon will get super dirty every time I want to take a quick bite, quick nibble. So I try to get the no stir almond butter, which is a little bit more pricey, but I don't get it often. It's a little treat for myself, I guess. Those tuna packets, salmon packets, and chicken packets. Starkist makes them. A few other companies make them. Rather than getting cans, I can get a little packet. I'll grab a handful of those. Those are pretty cheap too, to $1.50 a head or something. Unless you're getting the salmon, that's like $3. All different flavors too. I can make little ghetto burritos. Tamara Wise, what's up, homie? Thank you for the repost. Trina with the follow. I don't know what that is, Benzie. So no, that's my boy. That's my boy. But do some stretching off camera. But what else do I do? Might grab a can of something on rare occasion, some clam chowder or chili or something like that, just to have something a little bit more substantial to eat. And just little nibbles. So usually a couple of bananas in there too. I'm gonna be out for a couple of days on a train, so some potassium. So sodium again. I don't chase sodium. It's gonna naturally be in your diet no matter what. Whenever you grab something to eat, there's gonna be a decent amount of sodium in it. In America here. Howdy, Tamara. Thank you, Annie. Going east from here. I'm on the I-90 now. So the bridge I'm under is the I-90 right here. I'm here in Missoula. So I'm just gonna keep dipping down the 90 for a while. I might go up to the 94 to be able to hit Wisconsin. I got a homie up there I play D&D with. I'd like to say hi to. Which is crazy because we just started getting to know each other just last year. I play D&D every Wednesday, Dungeons and Dragons on Wednesday. With the same group of people I'm playing with for over a year. We play every Wednesday together. And we didn't really know each other too well yet. So when I got up to Wisconsin, I was in his town. I hitchhiked from his town. And when I left, I was talking to them. I was talking to the group. Hey, I just left Tamara with a tomato. Thank you. I just left, whatever this place. I don't want to dox him. He's like, dude, I live right there. That's where I live. That's where I work. I live and work in that town. He just left. I'm like, oh, no way. We didn't really know each other too well yet. So I'd like to go back and actually say hi to him. When I was going through Washington, I picked my route to go to the guy that runs the game every Wednesday. He's the DM. He runs the game. I picked my route to go where he was. So he almost died. Yeah, so I'm like 100 miles away. The next hitchhike brought me to where he lives. Right. Again, I'm not trying to fucking dox all these guys. And then all of a sudden, he's just nowhere to be found. We're like, yo, what's going on? Is he all right? You found out he's in the hospital. He got pancreatitis and all this shit. And he's lucky to be alive. Like, he came this close to. No, you couldn't even see. That's why he couldn't text us to tell us, hey, I'm in the hospital. He couldn't even see, so he couldn't like, use his phone and shit. You know, someone started updating us like third party. It was crazy. But he's all right now. He's doing just. He's actually like healthier now as a result because he's taking care of himself a lot more. But that happened when I was up his way, so we didn't get to meet. Like fuck. So at some point, I'll meet one of these motherfuckers in real life. We'll go get some food and fucking, be awkward near each other. But I got an itch to play more D&D, and I don't want to. I don't want to like commit to playing a game every week right now because like I don't know where I'm gonna be if I'm gonna have service and all that. So I think I'm just gonna randomly start running some Dungeons and Dragons in the Discord. Like hey, I'm gonna try to run tonight. Who's available? The first 3 or 4 people that show up come and play. So if you've never played Dungeons and Dragons, always wanted to learn, I would love to teach it. That's how you keep the hobby alive anyway. It's basically just a board game you play for 3 or 4 hours. It's a very much involved board game with a lot of rules and all that, but you don't need to know a single fucking thing. I'll teach you it all. You know, and keep in mind if you got a bunch of people that are just starting out, they're brand new, like it's gonna be a lot of rules explanations. It's gonna slow things down. But if oh hell yeah, Skydive, hell yeah. No, the only thing you need is Discord for the voice chat. That's where we'll communicate via voice, and then there's a website called D&D Beyond. So you just need. It's better to have a computer for sure, but you probably can do it on mobile, and that's where like the map is to move the pieces and all that. Yeah. Anyone looking to start learning how to play D&D, I'll probably start like once or twice a week. I'll probably start fucking running games in the Discord here in the very near future. I got a whole bunch of green stuff. I'm sitting somewhere. I got cell service. I got enough power to do it. Hell yeah, let's just run a game real quick. And we're not going to stream it or anything like that. It's going to be in the Discord. If you want to watch and not play, you can come in and just listen to us play. It's all free. It's all free, obviously. But the only thing I ask is like 2 things. We'll go into that. When I start running them. Make sure you push the talks on. I don't want to hear you yelling at your dog. I don't want to hear your wife yelling at you. Make sure you got that push the talk on. If it's on a computer, you can key bind it. Usually put it to the control key. If it's not on a computer, I do mobile with Discord. I have a phone dedicated just to Discord, and I just hit the push the talk. I don't want to hear you coughing and shit. Janet with the Go Popular, thank you. So I'll probably start doing that in the near future. Once or twice a week, run a game, 3 or 4 hours. It's collaborative storytelling with a group of friends. That's really all it is. You know what I mean? Don't worry about trying to be good at it or whatever. You know what I mean? It's have fun. I run very combat heavy games, not too heavy on the role play and all that shit. So that's what I'm interested in. But there'll be some exploration. You fucking walk around a place, you look for traps and all that shit. And then there'll be the combat where you're actually fighting. And then there's a social interaction where you're getting information about where you're going. And the better your roll on these certain skill checks, the more information you can get, which can help you in the fight or help you explore, whatever the case may be. Don't worry about all that. I'm getting too involved in it. This is gonna be run on the Discord. You'll need to have Discord for the voice chat, and then there'll be a website where you have your character sheet, and then the game map itself, with all the tokens and all that. So what you'll be looking at is like the Discord's going, we're talking, and then I'll be like, okay, this is where you guys are, and there'll be a map with all your tokens will be on the map somewhere, and here's the scene, here's everything happening. Miss Hobo Shopper, me, appreciate you. The website's called D&D Beyond. That's where your character sheet will be, and that's where the map will be, the virtual tabletop, where everyone will move their pieces and shit like that. There'll be a map there. And I'll explain the scene, and then you say what you want to do, and then I'll say, okay, that's going to be okay. You're searching for a hidden door. All right, you're looking for a hidden door. Roll me a perception check. All right, you rolled really well. You know for a fact there is or there isn't one. All right, whatever. All right, you get to this door. This door is stuck. What are you going to do? All right, I'm going to try to jimmy it loose. Or give me a sleight of hand check, or I'm going to kick it in. All right, give me an athletics check. There's different skill checks, and depending on how you rolls, whether it works or not. So, if you're interested, I didn't think anyone would be interested at all because I'm a fucking dweeb. Like I'm a fucking nerd, and everyone's here for the travel stuff. Ain't no one as nerdy as me. But I did a poll the other day, like, would anyone be interested if I was gonna run this shit? And it was overwhelmingly yes. There's only two people that are like, nah, I don't really care about it. So even if you just play once, if I'm running a game every week, once or twice a week, and you're free, you only play once, and that's it, and you say you did it, or every time I run one, you try to come on in. We'll probably just do first come, first serve. Whoever comes in first. That seems to be the fairest way. Uh, 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 uh. Well, everyone that starts out, like, don't worry about anything. If you're trying to learn how to play D&D, it's how you keep the hobby alive by teaching people how to play anyway. And I've come to realize over the years that a lot of people like don't know where to start, how to start, or it costs money a lot of time to have people run games for you. It's like, I can just fuck. I want to play anyway. I fucking like hanging out with you guys, so I was gonna kill two birds with one stone. And especially when I might have more time when I'm in Boston to like, not do travel stuff. I'm really going to be focused on editing red play button apps and working and stuff like that. Like I'll have a lot more time to myself. So it seems to be a good time for it. But yeah, don't worry. Like if you never played before, don't worry about not knowing everything or anything. Whatever, we'll teach you as we go. You know, no big whoop. But we'll figure that out in the near future. So I got the itch. But as for today, charging my phone up in the shade here while I'm on live. Actually, it is charging up, which is nice. So a nice full charge for later. Try to hitchhike on out of here. If I can get to a place, I got to check the hotel prices here. If we're still stuck here tomorrow, maybe they've gone down because it's not the weekend. But yesterday I checked, it's still $150 for Motel 6, and I ain't paying all that. Fuck that shit. That's way too much. So if I can get out of here, find a cheap motel, I'll be in a motel tomorrow. Maybe do it tomorrow night. I do want to grab a book for this, like specifically for this. It's $30. I looked it up last night. It's $30. So grab that tomorrow, go through it, and start playing some fucking D&D. Yeah, I mean, like the people I play with, for example, on Wednesdays, like we all like I've been playing since the fucking '90s. You know what I mean? Like everyone I play with on Wednesday, we all know the rules. We've brought new people in and we've taught them there, but the vast majority it's just the same five people, and we all know the rules inside and out. And it's fucking great. Like that people because it's a collaborative game. Like you're playing a character, you're playing one character, but like you're part of a group and you all work together to overcome the problems. Because you're not going to have every kind of ability needed, every kind of skill needed. You know what I mean? But that wizard's going to have what you need. The rogue won't. Or that fighter can open that door, but the wizard can't. You know what I mean? Like you work together. That's the whole idea. So having a whole bunch of people that know that going into it and know the rules inside and out is cool as fuck. Our Wednesday games, this is our third campaign. We're just fucking trampling. The person running it is just constantly trying to find a challenge for us and cannot come up with a challenge. Like he's throwing some crazy shit at us, and it's in the third round. We're like, yeah, we got this. We're done. you know? But just starting out, yeah, you just fucking make what you want. You can be there's different kind of magic. There's like full magic users. There's full like martial characters that like just fight, using like swords or whatever. And then there's like hybrids that cast some spells. They can cast some spells and they can fight a little bit, but they're not like super good at either. They're kind of in the middle. And there's all different variations there within. You want to play a healer, support, you do cleric or a bard or a druid, or if you want to do like extreme damage through spells, you can be a wizard or a sorcerer or a warlock. And then you got the fighter types. You got barbarian that this is impossible to take out. The most insane tank you can have, easiest to play, brute strength. Or you can go fighter and then all these different subgroups in fighter. You have all these different abilities and skills and stuff like that to control the battlefield. It's cool as shit. The further you get into it, the more you kind of customize your character to fucking do your thing. But Jeremy the beekeeper, I like it. But don't worry about all that. Don't worry about all that if you're just getting into it. Like you'll just take it step by step. I'll have the option of like, hey, you can make your own character and kind of walk you through that, but it's a lot more involved. But I'll have pre-made characters. Like I want to play a guy that hits stuff. Boom. Okay, got you right here. I want to play a magic user, a caster. Okay, cool. There's a character for that. So pre-made characters for you guys to grab up and use, or you can make your own. And even if you all fucking wipe and fail, still a good time. you know, that's one thing I don't hold back. I don't hold back. I don't hold punches. You know what I mean? I want you guys. If you guys succeed, I want you to succeed, like because you did it, not because just fake that role. Jamie the fourth wielder. It's the first thing I saw when I saw Jamie the beekeeper too, Gregory. I was like, oh, is that Jamie the fourth joke? But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. You guys fucking for those that are interested. Yeah, you don't need much. It's better if you have a computer. It's better if you have a computer, for sure. But like, and touching upon like, I don't pull punches, kind of thing when I'm running the game. Like, I ran a game for three people, and I ran it just as if there's supposed to be 4 to 6 in a group, and then the person running it. I have three people. I ran it just the way it was written. I didn't take anything away from it at all. And there were definitely moments where the people playing were like, "Dude, can you dial this back a little bit? There's only three of us." I'm like, "Nope." you know. But then when they beat the whole fucking thing. It's like, wow, we did this for three people. And that felt way cooler than like, oh, Troy made it a lot easier for us to be able to beat it. If your character, once you get like later in level, your character passing away, I don't know what to say on here, becomes like a minor inconvenience. You know what I mean? Like you gotta like, pay a lot of gold or cast a spell or whatever. When you're lower level, like you're probably making a new character, realistically, or you can go on with like, some big old quest to bring the character back or whatever. There are ways around it for sure, but most of the time when my character eats shit, unless I'm much later level, if I'm playing a game, my character eats shit, I'm just like, oh, I'll make a new one. I usually have a backup character in mind. When I first started playing D&D, it was called Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. It was the second edition ever back in the '90s. And you showed up to the table with three characters ready to go. You had the character you're playing, a backup for that. You might go through all three in one session. That shit was brutal. Like you never got too attached to your characters. If you had your character for like 7 levels, you got very attached to them because like, you're like, holy shit, I got to fucking make it for this long. But the way it is now, like I said, it's more of an inconvenience more than anything else. If you got someone in the party that can this casters that can just resurrect people, it costs a good amount of funds though. Oh. Yeah, so I'm not going to set a set time because I can't commit to that. You know what I mean? Like doing what I do. I've tried before. Hey, what's up, brother? But it'll be like, hey, I'm gonna start running a game in 2 hours. Like whoever shows up first gets to play. And even the book I'm getting for it is it's all what's called one shots. So it's not like a continuous storyline that's like, okay, if you miss this session and but you hit this one and then you miss the next one, you're not gonna know anything going on with the plot. It's just like, hey, you missed last time, but you got in for this time and you just pick up where you left off. You just pick up and do this mission. Going That's a way to explain it. It's like mostly heists. New Jersey Dave, howdy. New Jersey Dave, howdy again. New Jersey Dave, I don't want to be a cow, Troy. Thank you, brother. But yeah, I remember the '80s. They had all that propaganda for D&D. It's Satan's game, and all the religious folks wanted to shut down D&D, which is great. Which is great when religious folks try to boycott something or protest something. It's free marketing on a massive scale. News stations were talking about it. That's the only reason any of you know who I am. That was my first big pop. My first big pop on social media was the religious folks coming at me sideways. Thousands of comments, thousands of shares, hundreds of videos talking about me. Right? Why? Did I say something bad against religion? No, I called Christmas Xmas. That's it. That's all I did. I jumped off a train. I was like, I just dismounted a moving train and I'm trying to get back to Boston in time for Xmas, see my family in time for Xmas. And boom, the comments, keep Christ in Christmas. It's Christmas, not Xmas. I was like, I thought they were the same thing. I thought they were interchangeable. Like, I was raised Catholic. We all called it Xmas. It was something easy to write on a box when you're putting all your decorations away. Then Christmas, you just write Xmas, right? So I thought it was the same shit. That was interchangeable. But the Keep Pricing Christmas crowd got so fucking mad at me saying Xmas that it pushed my video out to the entire country. You know what I mean? I got over 1 million views on that video just because some religious folks are fucking weird. I don't know, versatile. To this day, like, there is no difference in my mind. You know, it's just a shorthand version of the way of saying Christmas. But to them religious folks, man, oh, they were fucking angry at me. So me being the friendly neighbor I am, I didn't want people mad at me. So I made a video right after that explaining that I was no longer celebrating Christmas. I now celebrate Goppity Goopity Day. So Merry Goppity Goopity Day to you and yours. But I started the video off like a cheeky motherfucker. You know what I mean? I was like, hey guys, I seen a lot of people mad at me for my last video because it said Xmas instead of Christmas. I don't want you guys mad at me. So let me fix the situation right now. And like no one knew who I was yet. You know what I mean? No one knew I was an asshole yet. So I was like, oh wow, this guy caved in pretty quick, you know? And then immediately flipped it on its head. I'm like, yeah, guys, I don't want to make anyone upset. So sorry for you guys getting angry at me. But I've decided to fix the problem and make things right. I no longer celebrate Christmas. I celebrate Goppity Goopity Day. So Goppity Goopity Day to you and yours. Celebrate on the same day as Christmas. And I wish you guys the best. Like we're saintly facts with the kitty pillow. Thank you. Thank you, first and time. Yeah, that was a fun one. Set the standard right at the beginning. It's like, hey, if you're an asshole to me, I'm gonna fuck with you. You know, and I've been doing that ever since. It's been fucking great. Like all those two assholes on here that are like, oh wow, Troy is community of grieving. Now's the perfect time to go on the attack, right? So they started bashing, us going through a grieving moment as a community. So all I had to do to fucking make them all paranoid and make them all freaked out and have them block like, a third of their viewership was to say I was going to troll them, encourage people to go over there and tell them exactly how you feel about how they're behaving. And anyone that even asked a question, even like longtime supporters of theirs, would be like, "Hey, is this? You think this is kind of too far? But hey, are you really like dogging someone who passed away? Block, 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 block." They even pulled up new moderators to help block people. So they're blocking like a third of their viewership. They just blocked, got rid of. Yeah. Hell yeah. And they even got so paranoid they've taken the location out of their stickers. They copied me with the sticker. They took the location out and just put the state down. And I'm like, hell yeah! All we had to do to make them all paranoid and block a whole bunch of people that support them every day was just to say, hey, I'm going to troll them and go over there and tell them exactly how you feel. If that's not poetic justice, I don't know what is, dude. you know, Minimal effort, for two lives. I encourage people to go over and tell them how you feel. That's it. I'm not done yet, though. I'll tell you right now. Oh, I'm not done. That was too far. That was way too fucking far. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun in the coming weeks for sure. Maybe the next coming month as well. Just fucking with them too. Oh, boyfriend, I'm your Troy friend. Whoa, dry spot, stop following me. All right, homie. I don't know why I did to piss you off. Shout, not troll. Fuck that, man. I stay trolling. Give me a reason. Give me a reason. Uh, and trolling since trolling's been trolling. You don't follow anyone on this account. All right, I'll allow it. I'm not. I'm not sad about it or nothing. Oh, I don't know, Sandy. Oh no, I do know. No, he tried to get with her. She shut him down. Yeah, yeah. So Bud Snorkler tried to get with Dumpster Pixie. She shut him down. So now he just simps for her instead. You know, just hoping, just hoping someday. Which is crazy to me because truckers pay $15 to get the old Gluck Gluck 5,000 from Dumpster Pixie, and Buck Snorkel can't even crack that nut. Yeah, God, God damn, brother. Things is tough out there. God damn. You can't even pull the lot lizard. You know what I mean? I tell you right now exactly what homie did wrong. He made himself too available. Nobody wants what you can easily have. You know what I mean? If I can have you in any given moment, you're ready and available. Yeah, let's see what else is out there first. I think most human beings are like that. You can't be readily available from the moment. You know, hi, nice to meet you. Want to get married? Hey, can we spend forever together? Like you gotta have some organic growth there. You know, maybe actually develop feelings for each other. What up, Miss Kelly? Yeah, I forgot about that. Homie took a swing and a miss. Now he just sips for her instead. Yes, I'm giving bad dating advice, Kate. I've had that up for 3 days and no one's addressed it before you. But here's your bad dating advice. When you go on a date, you want to make sure that you talk about yourself the whole time. The whole time. And if somehow the person you're on the date with talks about themselves for a brief moment, just wait for them to be done talking to go back to talking. You don't even register what they said. Don't even acknowledge that they even spoke. Then go back to talking about yourself. Like they don't even need to be there. That's the best way you can go on a date is just completely disregard that person as a human being. And then make them pay after. You know what I mean? Hey, I was set for a date in Mississippi. It was in Missis No, sorry, I was in Mobile, Alabama. And me and the person were flirting here like off and on for like a good fucking couple of months. And then like I'm fucking like 10 minutes away from their house where I was going live. And they're like, dude, we gotta hang out before I go. I was like, yeah, that's fucking cool. Let's go grab some dinner. There's a secret place right down the street from me and meet up tomorrow and get some dinner real quick. Oh yeah, yeah, it's great out, but I'm broke. That's okay. I just got paid from TikTok. I can fucking take you out for the night, and swing it. And then all of a sudden her sister was coming. I was like, what? You know? Yeah, yeah. My sister's broke too, and I think it'd be good for her. She's going through a breakup, so I think it'd be good for her to get out. Like, not paying for you and your sister to eat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure, sure. Oh, hey, by the way, my friend's gonna like, that day. My friend's gonna show up like that morning. Hey, my friend's gonna come with us too. Like, she's also going through a hard time. I'm like, oh, no, I'm buying dinner for 4 people, including myself. Okay. I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm running a little late. Can't get there at 6, but I'll be there at 6:30. I spent the day hitchhiking. I was already out of town. I was like, fuck this shit, dude. You're, you're bringing a whole army for me to feed just so I could go on a date with you? Hard pass. So I fucking left town. I wasn't even I was like up by Biloxi, you know. I started getting a text around 6:15. Hey, we're here. Oh yeah, yeah, I'll be right there. I'll be right there. And then around 7, I got the, are you actually fucking showing up? And I just sent a smiley face in return. You fucking asshole. We're all here. We all dressed up and came here. Maybe you shouldn't keep throwing people on the bill. How awkward is that anyway? You got her sister, and one of her close fucking friends. All I'm gonna do is sit there and watch them talk all fucking night anyway. You know what I mean? Like I'm not involved in the situation anymore. You're just gonna sit there and rap at each other. Fucking catch up. I'm just sitting there eating my food. Right? This is fun. This was worth the $300 this is gonna cost me. There's a seafood place too. They're all gonna order fucking seafood boils and shit. Right? I could do that for free at a gas station, Brian, or a coffee shop. Just sit there and fucking eavesdrop like a motherfucker for $0. But the weird part is, I haven't told this story in years. The weirdest part is somewhere around like 10 o'clock, she hits me up for my room number. It's like, damn, man, I stood you up. Not only did I stand them up, I told them I was on the way. You're like all the way up, all the way up. When they were there waiting for me, I'm like, yeah, be there any minute. To be an asshole. The fuck you gonna fucking bring 9 people? Fuck out of here. I was born on a Wednesday, not last Wednesday. But even after all that, she asked me for the room number at the end. I didn't respond because at that point I've already mentally decided I'm moving on. You know what I mean? Moving on with my life. But that one threw me for a loop. We'll have to ask it. Maybe it's the confidence of standing up three conventionally attractive people. I'll, I'll give you the too long didn't read version, Teresa. Yeah, like 2 years ago, I was in Mobile, Alabama, out that way. So, and we were kind of flirting for a while, for like months before I got there, and then I went live. And they're like, "Yo, you're like, right down the street from me. We gotta hang out before you go." I was like, "Hell yeah!" So we went and made plans for dinner the next day at a seafood place, and all of a sudden she's bringing her sister, and I'm like, "What?" Like they're all broke and they can't pay for their own food, so she's bringing their sister, and I'm like, "That's kind of fucked up. You just invited your sister to like for me to pay for without really asking me. Like, you know what I mean? You're telling me I'm paying for your sister's fucking food. Like, what the fuck is that?" And then the next morning, all of a sudden, there's a friend that's going through a hard time that's broke and she needs to come out too. So I'm like, oh, buying the whole fucking state of Alabama fucking dinner here. So I just stood him up. I kept telling him I was going to show up. I was like, oh, yeah, yeah, I'm down the street. I'll be there in a minute. But again, the craziest part to me at the end is when she hits me up that night for my room number, thinking I was out of town. I left town that day with the Biloxi, but still telling them, hey, I'll be there any minute, and I'm the whole state away. It's all close together. Mobile, Biloxi, and fucking New Orleans are all pretty close together. Not far, a couple hours drive to each place. But at the end of everything, after chewing me out, my text and even in a video chewed me out. You motherfucker! She hit me up for my room number at the end. I'm like, goddamn, roll Tide War Eagle. Yeah, pay some mortgage. The same place Stove would stay. I don't know if Stove. I don't think Stove stayed here. This isn't like a catch out spot, But I've only seen two stove tags. Like on trains, you'll see them. You see the KFC tag. I don't know how many of them are legitimate, but I've seen two stove tags. One in St. Louis, Fairfax, I think, technically. CSX yard in St. Louis. And then at the CSX yard in Jacksonville, I saw a stove tag, which is cool. Like train riders will section it all off. You don't tag anywhere near that. You leave it alone, you know. But yeah, I've only seen two. All the train yards I've been to and all the places I've been to, I've only seen two stove the hobo tags. What up, Chris? Hot toddies are amazing. How many teeth they have between them? Yeah. What do you say to someone from Maine? Hey, nice tooth. OE. Oh, you're near one. Really? Interesting. But there's not many. Not many. He was the damn philosopher out here, man. Stove. Yeah. Coffee grinds out my coffee cup. Uh, just a Maine girl. So sorry. Came in at the wrong possible time. My bad. I said that to someone in Maine, right? Sitting there, I'm at a Burger King. I was going LARPing of all things, like not like LARPing like the terms used today, but like going out in the woods and doing fantasy role playing in a game as a game. Shield and a wooden shield and a foam bat. That's how fucking cool I am. But we stopped at a Burger King, and the guy in front of us just wouldn't stop dogging fucking. He kept calling us Yankees, right? Even though they're more north than we are. When you go to backwoods New Hampshire or backwoods Maine or backwoods Vermont, they pretty much treat it like the Southeast, And he's going on and on about Yankees and how much we suck and this and that. And he wouldn't stop. He kept like motioning to us and this and that. And I had to have that conversation with myself that never works. And my buddy with me saw it. He tried to stop it, but it was too late. So he's going on and on and on and on. And I start having that internal monologue. Troy, don't do it. Troy, just don't do it. It's not important. None of this is important, Troy. Don't do it. And every time I have that conversation with myself, it doesn't work. It's just a matter of time. I'm just delaying the inevitable. I'm about to talk shit and be really good at it. So, Christy Lee, what's up, homie? So he's going on. We're in line for like 15 fucking minutes. And the entire time this guy's going on and talking about us being Yankees and this and that. And doing the lip bite, trying not to say it, to keep it to myself. And my buddy Frank looks over at me. He goes, Troy, don't do it, brother. Don't do it. We're out in the middle of nowhere, dude. Like, don't do it. You know, everyone here is related. Don't do it. You know, and you see, like, because I didn't say a word, you know, you can just see it in my face. Not enough, you know? So I'm like, you know what, Frank? You know what you say to people from Maine? He's like, don't do this right now. You know what you say to people from Maine, Frank? It's like, what's that? Hey, buddy, nice fucking tooth. Dude, I'm gonna go to my car. I'm gonna get my pew pew. I'm like, yeah, you get whatever you want, buddy. Oh man, wait, you got two teeth. You know, it's fucking scaring that pot. You know, my buddy starts apologizing. I am so sorry, this and that. Nah, man, fuck it. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, calm down, man. You know what I mean? Like, from what I heard, your sister wife hates this kind of behavior. Hates you getting all worked up like this. You know what I mean? So he goes out to his car, and I'm like, I'm done. But his buddies with him out in the car, and they're fucking hooting and hollering at each other. They eventually just get in and drive away. You know? There's my buddy Frank, like, what the fuck, man? You know what I mean? Like, anytime we go anywhere in this town now, we gotta look over our shoulder. Forget where it was at. It was up by like it was like north of like Kennebunkport, Kennebunkport, and Gunquit and all that. It was just north of there, like before Portland and shit. The middle of fucking nowhere, dude. You know, so I can hit the Burger King right quick. Sure, don't do it. Don't do it. Hey, Frank. Ew. Someone's ended up in a grave if you say that. Well, I said it then, and I said it now, and here I am, not in a grave. Oh, it definitely gets way worse up north. It gets way, way worse. The further up north you go in Maine, for sure. Yeah, not wrong. Yeah, whatever. You know, like, I had to say something. Oh, fuck. There's been multiple times in my life, and you'll hear those stories on here if you hang around long enough. Like, I had that internal monologue of myself, like, this isn't important, Troy. Don't do this. Don't do this. Just walk away from it. You know what I mean? Like, who cares about this? For this person, you know? And then the mouth opens. Well, the guy that tried to pew pew me. I was walking out, and I'm like, hey, don't say nothing, Troy. Troy, keep it to yourself. Nah, fuck this. Hey, buddy, what? Go fuck yourself. And all of a sudden, he had a pew pew out. Bang, 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 bang. That was an interesting story. I'll tell another day. No, I have not gotten breakfast yet. It's almost 11 o'clock, so it looks like we're getting lunch. You got an Indian place here. It's kind of overpriced, but what am I? Some chicken tiki, salad, and rice. You know, do that for lunch. Get that and a banana or apple or something. And then a protein shake. Fucking pricey, though, so maybe I'll just stick with the protein shake. Yeah, shooting was awesome, dude. Yeah, it's so weird. Like, let me make it about me, but it's so weird to go from like watching Shoestring, being inspired by him, coming out here and traveling, and getting to talk to him. Like we would talk on occasion via messaging. You know what I mean? He didn't even really know I was doing social media. He knew who Anywhere Man was. He knew who Troy on FB was, but he didn't realize we're the same person. It wasn't until we met where he looked at me. He's like, "You're the guy that makes the short videos, the smaller videos." I'm like, "Yeah, what's up, man?" So, "Oh yeah, I watch them all the time." Yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah. But we've been watching him to talking to him on occasion, tell me like what kind of fruit he got for his juicer and shit. And then to meeting up with him and being the last person to travel with him, like what is that? You know, that's fucking crazy. And then being the one of the front runners for his missing person story, you know, being in the house talking to his family when the fucking chief of police showed up to report that they found his remains. You can see the dog. You know, I was talking to the sister. She comes in here on occasion. I was talking to the sister Jessie. You know, after we found out he passed, I went back to help the family clean up and whatever I can do to help. You know, but we're outside fucking having a puff. And you know, we're just talking, and they're sleep deprived, they're stressed, you know, all the shit going on. And she looks over to the right. She goes, he was right there. We were searching the whole country for him. He was right there, you know. You can see the dock. It's like through a bunch of trees and stuff. You can only kind of see a little bit of it. You can see pretty much a change in color in the river coming out of the lake. We're like, oh, it's still in the lake. It's half a mile from his fucking house. You know, she was like, we were looking everywhere. And she's right fucking there. Crazy. And it's just the non-closure too. Like we'll never know what happened, most likely. We'll probably have no idea what happened. You know, between him going to the hospital and having insomnia and then somehow ending up in the lake. You know, there's no signs of foul play. There's no signs of anyone being there that wasn't supposed to be there or didn't, never admitted to being there. There's no signs of that. No signs of foul play. No signs of drowning. I mean, you found him in the water and he didn't drown. He passed away before he got in the water. How? You know, there's a rare type of insomnia that can. He did have insomnia for like 4 days. He was like hearing shit, auditory hallucinations and stuff like that. But there's a rare type of insomnia. The insomnia itself can take you, but he has no family history of that. That's usually a genetic thing, and he has no family history of that at all. So who fucking knows? The coroner that ran the case, he couldn't figure it out. He brought it to a convention of coroners, and a bunch of people took a look at it, still couldn't figure it out. You know, and so we'll probably never fucking know. I think the coroner would have figured that out, Papa. You know, any underlying condition like that probably would have came to light. He was, he was down there in the fucking water for almost a week. So we'll never know, probably. We'll probably never know what happened. That's for sure. Mm. So at 7 a.m., 7 to 7:30 a.m., the neighbor's ring camera saw him walking out with a trash bag. This is when things get kind of messy because the front door was locked, right? So like, okay, he walked out without his keys and couldn't get back in, but he never walked back, right? But things get a little messy here. So he walks out to take his trash out. He just got out of the hospital. The hospital didn't tell his family or anything like that he was kind of like out of it because like they saw him sleep for 4 days, which wasn't really common with him. So he walks out to take his trash out at 7:30, 7 o'clock a.m., somewhere around there, and he never walks back. So his door was locked. His back door was unlocked and open. And then somehow, like, he had a lake right behind his townhouse. Like the dock was like you could see it right from the back. Where I would puff when I was hanging out at his place, you can see the dock right there. It's like an eighth of a mile. It's right there. So somehow he ended up. Initially, I was like, okay, he couldn't get back in, so he's trying to skirt the place. Trying to end up, but no, he never walked back. He never tried to get back in the apartment. But that's where things get a little messy because he had some really shitty friends, and that's one thing I noticed when I hung out with him. His friends were taking advantage of him. They're trying to juice him for anything. He had a buddy that's like, don't use Uber, use me instead, and he charged double what an Uber was. And Shoestring wasn't dumb; he knew that. You know what I mean? He was hooking his friends up. Yeah, he was hooking his friends up. But the door was locked, right? So when I showed up, the first thing I noticed when I walked in, when you first walked in, you walk in his door, little narrow hallway going in his townhouse, bathrooms, right? No, sorry, it's the closet and then a bathroom. But on the right, there's a small set of shelves he put up, like, like decorative shelves. And on there was like a fucking $6,000 pocket watch. It's the first thing I noticed. It was right at eye level for me. So when I walked in, I saw it, I was like, man, nice watch. When I was hanging out with Shoestring, the year before. And he was like, "I think that's cool. Check this." I started pulling like macaroni pictures and drawings and like a shadow box. Like his fan, he liked the fan art way more than like the expensive shit people bought him. But he had that pocket watch sitting right there. So when I walked in, the family was there. We were talking. I was like, "Hey, what's that pocket watch? Like, where'd that go?" They're like, "What pocket watch?" Well, like, yeah, he didn't have the pocket watch up there. I'm like, he definitely did. Like that's where he never took it with him. It was decorated. It just sat right there. And then they're like, yeah, it was weird. So he had a safe, but he didn't have anything in it. I'm like, dude, he had a lot in that safe. Like anything he wanted to keep in like in case of a fire was in that safe. He showed me when I was in there. He had a whole bunch of documents and money in there. Like a fucking $1,000 and a bunch of documents or whatever. Don't quote me on the money. I don't quite remember that. It's been so long. But he had a bunch of stuff in there that was all gone. And his pew pew wasn't there. And I'm like, this is all shit he kept on him. You know what I mean? Like the pew pew went with him everywhere. Even when we traveled together, he had that fucking pew pew in his bucket. What do you mean? It's not, and he always kept it in the case. It wasn't in the case. So what happened is his fucking friends, the people closest to him, fucking robbed him blind. The moment he went missing, they went in there and fucking grabbed his pew pew. They grabbed the stuff in the safe. They grabbed the fucking watch. You know, I hope they fucking got charged with it. But that's probably why the door ended up locked. The door was probably unlocked until they came in, stole all that shit. They found the pew pew at their friend's place sitting in a bathtub. What? Yeah, the pew pew was in a bathtub, sitting there. Oh, I don't know how I got there. You know, slimy motherfuckers. He had a lot of awesome people in his life, but I feel like the people that are closest to him locally were fucking shitbags. And I got to see it firsthand. We were hanging out. So that would explain when I showed up. What broke my heart is that shadow box you showed me. Someone made a shadow box with like they took LED lights and painstakingly wrote his tag out with LED lights. He always kept that in his window. And when I walked up, that was on the ground. It fell out of the window and the fucking cord snapped. So the cord was severed. And I'm like, damn, the window was shut. That window was never shut. Like fucking, this is like freezing cold out. Right? I'm like, damn, that broke my heart. But that fucked with the scene a lot, obviously, of the apartment, the townhouse. The front door I said was locked. He didn't have a key. The keys were inside. The back door was unlocked and open. It's probably for his friends running around doing stuff. But it doesn't really play into a factor what happened to him, though. Right? Because again, he walked by that ring camera. So he lived here. His neighbor lived here. They had a ring camera. So he walked out, brought his trash out. The dumpster's right here where the parking is. And then you can walk down here to the dock where the water is. So I think a lot of us assume, like, because he loved water, he loved hanging out near that lake. I think a lot of us assume that, like, in his weakened state, being, um, being having insomnia for 4 days, he fell into the water. That's all she wrote. But there's no signs of drowning. And so like that throws a major wrench into any theory of how he ended up in the water, why he was found by fishermen half a mile downstream. So again, we'll probably never know. We'll probably never know. There's so many things that don't add up, and I think most of us assume like if you're gonna be out here all the time, like I think most of us assume we're gonna go out here. You know what I mean? Like that's what's gonna get us. But like I've never seen it. You know what I mean? Like well, what usually gets people out here is unfortunately the illicit substances. That happens fucking all the time. We lose like 6 people a fucking month to that shit. In the community, and then you got weird shit that happens after the fact. You know, like well, no, there's no signs of foul play, Kate. No signs of foul play. You know, yeah, I think the coroner would have found anything if it was drowning. He said with the utmost certainty that it was not drowning was not the cause of unaliving. You know, but where's that going? But yeah, the weird circumstances I see when people stop traveling. That's usually what gets them. It's fucking crazy, dude. Like Schuster didn't pass away of a fucking grizzly bear because of a train, or you know what I mean. What got him was some mystery fucking situation that ended with him in the lake behind his townhouse. April, thank you, homie. So like, who the fuck knows, right? That's a weird fucking circumstance. One of my biggest fucking like rivals out here. I hated that motherfucker. He hated me. His name is Obi. I don't want to see him go the way he went though, because he stopped traveling. He got his life together and then slipped in a bathtub and broke his neck. That happened like I think 4 or 5 months ago. Like, what do you mean? Like, he was one of the most fucking cussiest kids out here. You know what I mean? Like, he did some rank shit and was fucking like he was finite thick of things with a substance issue the whole time. But none of that got him. Is when he stopped and got his life together. He fucking fell in the bathtub. That's all she wrote. My buddy Hubcap, who passed away a month after Shoestring. That man was in the LA riots, fucking throwing dumpsters on fire at police cars. You know what I mean? Like that dude fucking lived a life out here. He was out here for 30 years as a punk rocker. He's fucking going nuts. Was it the illicit substances that got him? Was it the hard lifestyle? Was it the amount of times he's been fucking brawls out here? That dude was raised by a Shaolin master. You know what I mean? So he loved to fight. No, he had a cardiac issue once he settled it. His father passed away. He got a house in the in the and out of the will Priya with the Game Pass order. Thank you. As soon as he housed up, a year later, he passed away from a cardiac issue. You know what I mean? It's so fucking weird. Like what we do out here is so fucking dangerous, right? On a base level, I know it's so normalized to me. Whatever. Like I'm hanging out in grizzly and mountain lion and fucking wolf country right now, and it's so normalized to me. I don't see it as a threat anymore. But like, I can't remember the last time I heard of anyone passing away on the road from a wild animal or weather or the trains themselves. Injuries, sure, but I can't remember a single person passing away. My friend Rara back in 2022, she fell off a train. That's it. That's all I really got. Out of the thousands of people I know that travel this way, it's always illicit substances or really weird circumstances, like really strange circumstances. It's like, how the fuck did that happen? What do you mean you slipped in a bathtub after hopping trains and doing this dangerous shit for 15 years? You slipped in a bathtub, broke your neck? You know? What do you mean? Two things been out here for 32 years, I think, before he passed. 32 fucking years. And it wasn't anything out here that got him. It was insomnia and a mystery situation that ended with him in a lake, you know? Or like this crazy fucking life that my buddy Hubcap lived. And once he housed up, that's what got him. It's fucking crazy. No, I don't think it's any major conspiracy. It's just a really strange phenomenon. It's like people that live humble and uncomfortable life out here, when they finally get comfortable, they usually go, you know? No, there's no signs of foul play for shoestring. No signs of foul play, no signs of drowning. So I don't know. The only thing I can think personally, who the fuck am I? I'm not a medical professional. Is looking it up. There is a rare kind of insomnia that the insomnia itself can take you out, but like the coroner would know that. The coroner would look for that, right? It was like dozens of coroners looked at this case and couldn't figure it out for shoestring. Who the fuck knows? But it makes me nervous when I get out the road. I'm like, damn, I better keep doing this fucking dangerous shit because regular life might unalive me. Like damn, if I ever stop, what's gonna get me? Trip on a fucking curb and then hit my head and call it a fucking day, something lame like that. God damn, something insane, right? Yeah, we get dozens of corners looking at it. Statistically, yeah, probably true. So you get dozens of people looking at it. At least one of them got to be good at their job. God damn, we swole today. Protein in, maybe. Well, I just told you, T-Roy. We'll never know for sure, most likely. Unless new information develops, we'll probably never know for sure. The only thing I can think of is that rare kind of insomnia, but it's genetic, and he has no family history of it, so that's kind of rules that out anyway. So I don't know. All we can do is speculate. Like if if no one can figure it out, well, what makes you think that I can, right? But no signs of foul play though. Zero signs of foul play. The cause of unaliving is unknown, right? Because if he was pushed into the water, then hey, you're gonna have signs of drowning. If he was harmed and then thrown in the water, that would show up too. There was no sign of foul play, no sign of drowning. That rules it out. Think something close to him did it. No, there's no signs of foul play. It kind of rules out any kind of foul play. You know what I mean? For what actually happened, all we can do is speculate. That's all we can do. No matter what. There's no, unless you're a medical professional, there's no way of knowing. Fortunately. But maybe someday, any day, we might get new information, something. A camera that picked it up that we didn't know, whatever. You know, it was so surreal though, because I went all in on that. You know what I mean? I went all fucking in. Like I for 8 to 12 hours a day, we're talking about on TikTok Live. We're dealing with missing person fucking creators, trying to get the word out there as much as humanly possible. Much as humanly possible. It was missing before we knew what happened. You know. But I showed up on Thursday, like 3 in the morning on a Thursday. I met the family on Friday. Chief of police comes in and says, "Hey, you want to talk to the family?" I'm like, yeah, no problem. I'm back to my motel. And then we had a search party set up for the next day. We had the search party set up on Saturday. Like we had boats coming in. We had it all fucking set up, dude. Like I went all in. I cashed in every fucking favor I've ever had. You know, And he was loved too, so it wasn't hard to convince people, hey, bring your boats out to the fucking lakes, you know. So so we had everything all set up and ready to go. And I think that put some pressure on the local PD and the local like search and rescue to kind of start doing stuff too. But it was two fishermen found him under the dock, a mile down from his townhouse. You know, but it's beautiful out here. I didn't check the downtown, like the actual town of Missoula out, the college town and shit. But I went on the outskirts. I was in Y. Then I went to Bonner, just passed, went right through Missoula, and then I had it back because all the copper mines in Bonner, I had no cell service at all. So, dude, if I get stuck here for 3 or 4 days, I can't upload, I can't go live. Like, that's my money. That's my income. So I decided to backtrack yesterday morning all the way back to Eastern Missoula, where I'm at now. I go back to Boston. Good question. Sure, I'd be there by now. But I always have that caveat when I'm like making plans, like, yeah, I'm trying to get here to there in this amount of time. It's like, unless something happens, and something always happens. And Montana's been a real fuck. Beautiful, you know, like traveling wise, I've had a blast, you know, but when I got to Weston, when I got to Spokane, things just started going south for me. You know what I mean? It's one thing after another. And fucking, I don't know. I don't want to go through the whole fucking inventory and laundry list of fucking my shit, but a lot of personal shit, a lot of community shit, a lot of heartbreak, and then a lot of this fucking mental health shit too. Rita with the flamingo groove, thank you. Moose with the hand, I appreciate you. Uh. We can only speculate, pop up. You know what I mean? That's all we can do is just speculate. Uh. After he was found, the family was already pretty much moved in. It was his townhouse at that point. You know, that's where they're running their own search efforts and all that. Which was like when I met the family, they were like so on edge meeting me, and they're so tired and stressed. You know what I mean? They've been looking for Mark. Moose, if they're calling me about, thank you. But they're already like sleep deprived, stressed out, or whatever. You know, when I showed up, but so many creators came out of the woodwork. So many creators came out of the woodwork just to fucking get views on this situation. You know what I mean? And like there was one saying he was like Shoestring's cousin. And I talked to the family, like he's not related to us. Like, why is he saying he's his cousin? Then what the fuck? You know, I got to meet with that creator, and his first question to me is, "How can we get more views out of this?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking know about that. How can we find Mark?" You know. So so many creators are coming out of the woodwork and just straight up lying about who they were and who they represented and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like they're just trying to get as many views off the situation as humanly possible. So when I showed up, they were worried that I was doing the same. So talking to his mother, again, he was still missing at this point. The chief of police showed up when I was there talking to the family, and that's when they informed the family. I'll never forget that text, dude. I was like getting kicked in the fucking chest. But she was vetting me, and I can see that the moment she started asking me questions. She would ask me questions she already knew the answer to. You know, like, oh, so you and my son were very close. I'm like, no, we weren't super close. We talked on occasion, and then we met up once. You know, but he like inspired me to do what I do. You know, so like it was a huge inspiration of mine. We weren't like best friends. You know, like, oh, but you guys traveled together twice. No, we just traveled together once for like 10, 11 days. And, we're trying to meet up again later on to do like another part. We did a part one. We're trying to do a part two of that video. I ended up having an anxiety attack on an Amtrak. It's, I'm agoraphobic, and that shit was fucking with my head. So I had to get off. That's when we ended up parting ways. So he's like, oh, we'll make this video part one. We'll meet up for a part two later. He passed away, so I got to do part two. But, she was asking me questions she already knew the answer to, trying to make sure I was on the up and up. And then when he passed, I went back to the house. They're offering me the world, dude. You know, they're like, hey, do you want this? Do you want that? Do you want this? Want this? Just trying to get. No, I was already here. I was already here. He gave me a bunch of patches. He gave me the pack I was using, those side pouches and that top pouch I have for my pack. Those are still shoestrings. I still have a Silcock key he gave me. So they kept trying to offer me stuff while I was there, like cleaning up and stuff like that. I was like, no, I'm good, man. I'm good. I don't. You already gave me everything I wanted. Like we already traded for stuff, and he gave me a bunch of like patches and stuff like that. I've given those all out to other train riders at this point. But any train rider I met, that was like, hey, I was a fan of shoestring. Here, this patch belonged to him. I still got some more stuff. Like if I ever get to meet American Hobo Daniel, I'll probably give him one of the side pouches or that top pouch I got to get something from Shoestring and scatter some ashes. But that's why in the end of all these creators that showed up, showed up on scene and all these fucking people that are trying to get, views out of it. I'm the only person not in the family that got his ashes. Every other person that got ashes, there's only 9 cylinders made with his ashes. I got one of them. The second one, I got number two. Out of everyone, I was the only one that got any ashes. So I was the only one not trying to fucking milk it for all it's worth. I was just sad my friend was fucking missing. I was sad my friend fucking passed away. But then like 4 days, I didn't talk to the family at all. I was like, dude, they got so much going on. I'm gonna hang out in town. I'm gonna stay ready and stay available. If they need me, I'm here. I told his sister, I was like, hey, if you guys need anything, let me know. And that's the last thing I said. So I let them do their own thing. I was like, hey, like they got so much going on. I didn't want to be like, hey, well, what about me? So I stayed local. I was like 5 miles away from Shoestring's townhouse, and they never hit me up. So I was like, all right, they don't need me for anything. That's good. Again, I went to the house and hung out with them for the day and helped them clean up, and then they're all going to bed like 2 in the afternoon. They're like, we're tired. I was like, I'll go on, get out of here, and you guys fucking do your thing. But they all thought I left town, right? Because they weren't hitting me up, I wasn't hitting them up, so they all thought I left town. It was someone that follows me on here saw one of the sisters post on FB. They're like, "Hey, anywhere man's in town if you need him. Like he's just waiting there in case you need him." He was saying that on live and stuff. So she hits me up and she's like, "You're still here?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. If you guys need anything, let me know. Like I don't need anything from you guys, but if you need anything, let me know. I'm here." They're like, "All right, we want to talk to you. My mom wants to talk to you before we leave and before you leave." I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." So they came to the hotel I was at, and then the mom has the cylinder. I still got it in my bucket. The cylinder with the bag it comes in, whatever. Like it's like the felt kind of case for it. And she's like, I want you to have this under two conditions. You don't give them to anybody, you don't give them to anyone else, and you scatter them, around the US. And like done. And then I hoarded them for 2 years. I scattered them twice. And then I didn't realize what I was doing for the longest time. I wasn't ready to say goodbye yet. I wasn't ready to admit to it that admit that he's gone. But I scouted someone a train in California, and I sent the video over to the family, and I'll be doing more. I probably won't do it again until I meet up with American Hobo because he's doing the shoestring thing, and he's nailing it. And I never wanted to be the next shoestring. I have no interest in that. But I'm not trying to replace anybody. But American Hobo, he's so inspired by Shoestring, and he makes the videos in the same exact style. He's knocking it out of the fucking park. It's his own, hands down. He's doing his own thing, but it's very much inspired by Shoestring. So I was like, dude, if there's anyone I'm gonna scatter these fucking with any train ride, it's gonna be him. So yeah, he does kind of look like him too. Oh, is he a fellow traveler? Yeah, something like that. Ben, they go popular. Thank you. Oh, hi, Ben. But better stop rambling and go on and get out of here. Um, if you got a question, comment, or insult in, now's the time to drop it. I gotta pack all this shit up and go on. Get some hitcher hiking to do. Some hitcher hiking. Gotta got some fucking not even breakfast anymore. It's gonna be lunch now. Gonna grab some food and all that. Well, uh, I do gotta say real quick, like every time I've experienced any kind of traumatic event out here, there's always a fucking shithead or two that's like, okay, let's use that against them. So they did that initially, like dumpster pixie and butt snorkeler. They did that initially just over my father passing away, traveling like this, and then about my fiance that passed away, quite some years ago now, and then harped on that, and then shoestring passed. They started using that against me. And I took that all in stride because they're aiming that at me. Hey, whatever, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Like, who cares about these two fucking people's opinions? You know, like let's just fast forward 10 years when they're both bag ladies, in fucking Kansas City or something. Like it's the war of attrition. All you got to do is just wait. Sometimes the best punishment you can do for people is just let them be themselves, right? Read it with the toucan, thank you. But we lost Marie here last week, and she was the most important part of this platform. She was the community, you know what I mean, hands down. And I'm seeing everyone get a lot more active in the community as a result, trying to fill in that gap. We'll never fill it in, but it's beautiful to see everyone's coming together. To keep it alive. It's beautiful, and that's where they fucked up. Come at me all day. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Come at me all day. I got no problem with that. You know what I mean? I have no major concerns from other people. A lion's not concern with the affairs of sheep. Coming at the community while grieving, coming at the person that passed away, and coming at a person for being upset that their friend passed away, that was a bad look. That was a bad look. So on our end, all we did is go there and tell them exactly how we feel, encourage people, hey, go there and tell them exactly how you feel about what they're doing, making fun of someone that passed away right now. And that was enough to get them all paranoid. They blocked like a third of their own following for just like, hey, what you're doing is kind of wrong, right? Boom, block, block, block. And they won't put the location up anymore because they're paranoid that someone's going to go real life with it. So we got to stoke their paranoia to fuck up their own shit for a brief minute. And, that's poetic justice for me. But I'm not done yet. I haven't started trolling myself yet. I'm going to make it a point to make their lives a fucking miserable experience on TikTok for as long as humanly possible. You know, you can fuck with me all day. You can fuck with me all day long. I really don't have a major concern for minor people. But don't fuck with my community. Don't fuck with the people that watch me. You figure they would have learned their lesson because Dumpster Pixie came at someone in the community last winter. So I put Dumpster Pixie's real origin story out there. And again, it's not hard to find. All you got to do is take the name in her link tree, her full name's in a link tree, put that into Google, and it comes up with her true origin story that she was homeschooled in Escondido, a very well off place in California, that she wasn't a homeless teen. The only time she ever spent on the streets was 2 weeks when she ran away, and they're running a missing person story. And her adoptive mom was very caring the whole time. We're not mad at her. We just want her to come home and be safe. And then continued to live with them all the way until she went to college, popped out a kid and said, I don't want to have a kid. And immediately abandoned the kid there and fucked off to Slab City, talked to a bunch of different travelers, took their origin stories, cherry picked them to make her own. She was not a homeless teen hitchhiking around the US. She never started hitchhiking until about a year and a half ago when she saw me on TikTok hitchhiking. She told me this. It was like, oh, I can do that. And started hitchhiking for views as she's doing now. Right. So the origin story is not a homeless teen that never stood a chance in society. She was very well off growing up with her adoptive fucking family. Very caring adoptive family. Even to this day, still cares to raise her kid for her. She wants you to believe that she never stood a chance in society. She never stood a chance. But again, all you gotta do is go into her link tree, where she has her first and last name publicly listed. Pop that into Google. Pop that into Google, and you can see that the only time she was homeless was when she was 15 to 16 and ran away from home and stayed at a friend's house for 2 weeks. Really inspirational story there. Yeah. Which I never got because like, that's one of the big things they dog me for is I have parents that love me. It's like, oh, he could stay with his parents whenever he wanted. Yeah, I have parents that love me that I can stay with whenever I want. I'm sorry my parents love me. I didn't abandon the kid with them. Yeah, my bad. Well, what a weird insult. I couldn't understand that for the longest time. I'm like, why are they dogging the fact that I can stay with my parents? Most of us can stay with our parents and choose not to because we're adults. Yeah. Like, why is this a thing? But then I realized like a lot of what's over there is projection. They're constantly projecting their shit on me. Whatever they do wrong, they put it on me instead. It's a very weird phenomenon. A lot of humans do it though. Like I couldn't peg that one. It wasn't until she fucked with someone in the community, was, body shaming them, shocker. Someone that hates to be body shamed loves to body shame other people. It wasn't until you look up Dumpster Pixie's actual origin story where you're like, wait a second, she can go back whenever she wants. But there's a giant, small, human-sized thing there called a kid. She wants nothing to do with, so she stays on the road instead. So I could understand why would that even be an insult, you know? Oh, his parents love him. Yeah, no shit, my parents love me. Why wouldn't they? I'm fucking awesome. But it wasn't until I looked up the origin story and I did base level research. Again, I just took Dumpster Pixie's name listed in her link tree. It's right in her link tree. So this isn't like secret information. You take that, you plug it into Google, it shows her origin story. The first two things you're going to see is how she grew up. You know, grew up with a loving adopted family in a very well off area, a very well off family. Went to college on the family's dime. You know, not FAFSA like she tries to say. Um, had a kid, decided that I don't want to raise this fucking kid. Let me get away from this. Ran to Slab City, got a bunch of travelers, origin stories, cherry picked them and made her own. She was not a homeless teen. She was housed up all the way well into her 20s. Shut fuck off. Hey, I know you took care of me and you didn't have to. Take care of this kid too. I'll see you later. Bye. And got the hell out of there. So, of all the things that never happened, her being a homeless teen and having to hitchhike around the US is one of the things that have most never happened. You know? But I do find it weird, like her community watches her lie, change stories on the spot. You know, today it's one thing, today it's a closed adoption with her kid. Tomorrow it's an open adoption, whatever she needs, using that kid that she abandoned for fucking money, which is gross. Whatever like your life situation is with your fucking kid, they got nothing to do with me. That's not my business. Once you go on TikTok and try to use that for pity money, I got something to say about it. You know what I mean? Like if you really cared, you'd be in the kid's life. You know, people point blank telling their stories or whatever, nothing to do with me. That's not my business. Once you bring your kid onto the platform for money, I got something to say about it. You know, again, I could just grab her name from her link tree right there in the link tree. She knows it's in the link tree. She leaves it up there, so it's not like she's trying to hide it. Just grab her name from her link tree, plug that right into Google, and see she's full of shit. Pixie, Dumpster Pixie. Her and her I don't even know what to call him. The butt snorkeler guy, like he tried to pursue her and then she turned him down because, like, whatever. Who the fuck wants something they can have whatever they feel like? You know what I mean? Played a way too eager kid. So now he just kind of simps for her. I don't. It's a bit weirdly weird dynamic. I wouldn't expect anything more from these people, to be honest with you. But very strange. Uh, I got a whole bunch of trolling to do with them too. I'm gonna go nuts with them. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's very open about that. Yeah. Myself, I'm gonna go get some lunch up here. I gotta pack this shit up still. It'll take me a quick second. Pack this shit up. Go get some lunch. Come back and go hit the on ramp. Try to get some miles down the road. What's up, John? Try to get some miles on out of here. It is time to go. Fucking beautiful up here and all, but I'm hoping next week we get a motel. Tomorrow, Tuesday, or Wednesday, whenever I can. Whenever I can get out of here, I can find a nice fucking cheap one, dude. Everywhere in Montana's been nuts. So in the last month, we got 3 nights in a motel. One in West Washington up by Spokane, then another one in Kalispell. Then Elizabeth was enough to she had a bunch of points on her, you know, loyalty points or whatever. So she got to use that. It only cost me $50 for 2 nights. It's fucking beautiful compared to the 300 they're trying to charge me. So here in Missoula, it's still like I didn't check today, so I gotta take a peek today. But in Missoula, it's still like fucking 150 something before tax for the Motel 6 here. So look at that. I tell you what, that will be in the cards. But if I can get out of town and find a cheaper one, that'd be fucking great. There's a roadhouse along the way, kind of out of the way, but there's a roadhouse started by one of the guys that performed with ZZ Top. Started a roadhouse out here, and that's only $35 a night, which is fucking crazy. So it'd be cool to be able to bag that. That'd be nice. So depends on getting a ride on out of here. Pack it in. Let me begin. Came to battle me. That's a sin. Ah, we'll find a grocery store soon too. And we'll cook some fucking food up, man. Been a while since I got out of Kalispell. In any grocery stores within walking distance, at least. That's the hardest part. When I'm not near a grocery store, trying to keep the fucking diet semi-regular, which means not a lot of hot food. A lot of protein shakes. Trying to avoid doing that thing I did a year and a half ago or so. Is like, oh, just grab fast food. Oh, just grab fast food. Oh, just grab fast food. It became a thing. I wanted more time on my day, I guess. You know. So it's like, all right, I can walk for an hour to get to the grocery store, then an hour to find camp, and then cook up whatever I got, and then clean everything up, or I can just pay less, go to McDonald's or Wendy's, be full. That only take me 10 minutes. You know, compared to 3 hours of a project. But health wise, when even just walking fucking stores, it would work out. Squish everything down, compress it. Otherwise, cat gets way too tall. Should be up to my hip. Getting something on the top. Just keep backing up. Getting baby wipes too. Is a necessity. We're cleaning up and pooping. It should be good. Yeah, it's all done here. It'll take long to pack up. It looks so intimidating. Even now, I've been doing this for so long. It looks so intimidating when I see everything all sprawled out. The Lupo says a flea market or a yard sale. And then when I finally pack it all up, I'm like, oh, it's only a few minutes. It's not bad. Put this here and I protect my big tripod. This big bad Larry here. It was up almost 6 foot. I use that solely for the camera. And then my medium tripod I use solely for the phones. And I've come to realize lately, I'm like, I can do the same with one tripod. It's a very rare occasion I'm running multiple angles on something. So I really don't need the extra weight. Shave a few pounds off. It's like, you gotta replace the big tripod again. Toss the phone cradle I have for it. So I need a new one of those. Let's wait for this tripod to shit the bed, which everything I own will shit to the bed eventually. Ah, run two tripods instead of three. Fucking knew it. Got something. Always something. Flip flops. But yeah, right now I got a small tripod, a medium, and a really big one. Get rid of the medium one. I don't really need it. I don't care how you get in there. Just get in there. There we go. Locked and loaded, ready to go, baby. At least tonight got no rain. Well, if I camp out under a bridge, I can go hit nature a little bit. No matter where I end up. Trash bag. All right. We got all the stuff. Yo, Matthew. And Moose, Moose. Thank you very much for the cachap. That was $2 overdrawn. Thank you, brother. I got my camera bag, my pack, my bucket, trash bag, which I'll throw away first time I see a dumpster. Then my water jug. Packs up super small. When I pull it all out, though, looks like a goddamn flea market. Yeah, like, I gotta show it all at some point. I'm meaning to make this video where I gotta take out all my gear and lay it all out in a neat way. Everything I use and go through everything. I think that may be a video better for Boston. You know, that shit. Actually, very small setup. Yeah, Moose, thank you, homie. Appreciate you. You too, Robin. Still in Montana, you know it. Stacy and TK, what's up, man? How you guys doing? Pacific Northwest Gal, good to see you too. I'm about to roll on out of here. I'm gonna go get some food. The Indian place in town right back there, about a quarter mile. We'll grab me some chicken tiki masala with some rice. If they're open, yeah, it's almost noon. They should be open. We got to 11, will be open. And then I'll come back and hitchhike here later today, hopefully. Smokey, what's up, brother? Appreciate the heart me. Yeah, we gonna want to get out of here. Remember, you find folks for hours now. I appreciate you guys. As always, be good and be good at it and all that good jazz. I'll see y'all soon. I'll be back in a couple hours, I'm sure. My shit's already charged up. That's the main point of this live, too, is just let my phone charge up. what's been happening is like since both my charging ports on both my phones are broke. So what's been happening is like I'll go live during the day, like hitchhiking or whatever, for a couple hours, 3 hours, and I can't really charge my phone. I can slow down the rate. By plugging it in, it still loses battery just a lot slower. So then for the rest of the day, it's just me trying to get a charge on my phone while it's pretty hot out. You know, once like this week passes, the next week, and all the weather goes down to like 70s during the day or whatever, it'll be a lot easier, especially once I get these phones fixed. Doing that in the near future. But until then, we got to do with what we got. So whenever you see me live in the afternoon, you probably won't see me live in the evening. I gotta charge my shit up. Peter Tower. What's up, brother? Sam Rock with the roses at the center. Yeah, we got on out of here. We got, we got on point blank. We're very directly. That's in the Red Play Button app. That's the long form stuff. If you really like my photos, want to see more of the photos I do, check my Patreon for free. I archive all my favorite photos over there. I got a lot to go through. It'll take a day this week and just fucking bang them all out. I'll bang a bunch of them out. Sure, I'll never catch up on editing. Roxanne with the kachap. Thank you, Roxanne. You too, Chaos. Next time, oh yeah. Yeah, True Gods with the private jet on the way out the door. No way, Shadow. You here earlier. I saw you. True Gods, thank you very much. Peter Tyler with the corgi. I'm leaving, guys. What are you doing? Shamrock with the tomato. Thank you. I love tomato. It's too much. Thank you. Teresa with the tomato. Thank you. Tomato burst. You guys are awesome. Tomatoes. Yeah, Roxanne, I just got that. Thank you. So I should be paying you for doing all these goddamn um Moose with the $2 for the overdraft fee. Thank you, Moose. Roxanne, I got that. She was paying you with how much you fucking upload the re-uploads and stuff in the live the highlights and shit. Thank you. Where you at now? Missoula, Montana. Trying to get out. I tried to get out yesterday, no luck. Got a ride the day before that got me through town, got me to the other side. I'm gonna try again today, see if I can get a ride out of here. But I'm gonna go on, get out of here, go grab some food up. Thank you guys for the fucking cash apps on the other door. Roxanne and Moose looking at you. Stu Gotts with the private jet. As soon as you come in, thank you. Rita with the 9,000 galaxies. Teresa X, we'll give you a follow here. Pacific Northwest Gal, Miss Hobo Shopper, Moose being number 8, no, sorry, number 6, and I don't follow you, get you right there. And the cash apps, thank you, brother. Peter Towler with the gifts, just walking in the door. You guys are too much. Tika Saw, Huntress, Dory, Shamrock, Roxanne. Everyone was tapping. You guys are amazing. Need some cash for a room, dude. It's so expensive out here. I'm hoping to get out. I got to check the costs now. 'Cause I checked it yesterday here, and there's still like $150 in Missoula for a Motel 6, which I'm not paying. Like, I don't even care if someone pays for it for me. It's on principle. I'm not paying $150 for fucking Motel 6. But if they went down and I'm still here tomorrow, they'll grab. I'll get paid for TikTok tomorrow and shit. But otherwise, I'll grab a motel. The first place I grab a hitchhike at place, you know, is tomatoes in Tennessee? No way. You lying. All right, let me go and get out of here. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for being here. So dragging us out. Open a travelers motel. It sounds great, but I don't have to worry about other people doing whatever they're doing. I'm all set.